Did you just guess that?
Well, no, I looked in I submitted a ticket and they said this is the list of things that it could be. And then
You're
I went into
stiffing the
settings and
miners. the miners the miners think you're a cheapskate.
they were on strike.
That's pretty funny. All right, let's do this stream. Okay. So your Ethereum showed up.
Yeah, and I was able to deposit it in App C. Wait, I wish I had not. If last night I thought, let me just stay in Tron and see what happens. If I had sold out of Tron and put it all in App C rather than keep putting only 300 in App C and leaving 6,500 in Tron,
You
I
would
would
be
have
quitting
$14,000
board repair.
right now.
Yeah. Well,
Huh?
you can't do the coulda, shoulda, woulda stuff. You know.
I
If,
know, because you kill
if
yourself if you do
yeah,
that. But
if I had not checked my phone when that guy was crashing and burning Tron, you know what it was? It was that someone sent me a message that said he just quit. So I thought, I'm not watching it. I thought it was that Justin Sun quit. Like, I'm leaving. Fuck this shit. Flip the table. I'm out of here. And then I see, coin in free fall. Which, if I hadn't seen that message, coulda, shoulda, woulda. All right. Let me find the chat here. What's that? Weird notification.
all right.
All right, let's make that go minus. And
I'm eating a potato, and Jessa is no longer talking into a potato.
all right, here we go. Okay. I can see chat. Can you
So
see
people
chat?
can.
I guess
I
it's
see
working.
chat, and I see nobody bitching about the microphone anymore. So hopefully that fixed it.
Too late. Little game of repeater going on. You need to get some headphones, Holmes. Do you have headphones?
Oh, fine, fine.
Fine. All right, Lewis is going to get some headphones so that you guys don't have to go over to iPad Rehab Sucks and report. All right, so here's what we're going to do now. Let's see, is this one screen share? I think so. Okay. All right, so we are going to do a little video that is a informal live trading session with Lewis and Jessa. So Jessa has been trading cryptocurrency for about 2 weeks. So right around Christmas time, today's January 6th, Lewis has been trading cryptocurrency for 1 day. And we are going to talk about lessons learned, and I'm going to share with you my approach to figuring out how to trade. But before we do that, I want to say a couple things. One, don't trade cryptocurrency. It will drive you insane. You're going to lose money. There's no way to actually be really successful and think that was an awesome trade. I'm awesome at this. What's going to happen is you're going to constantly lose money. You're going to constantly invest in something. Maybe it'll go up and you won't sell it. And then it goes down and you take a loss. It'll go up and you do sell it, but then it'll go up much further and you feel regret because you left money on the table. Or you'll buy it and it will just flat out go down, or you'll buy it and make a lot of money, feel great, and then you'll get back into that same coin again. It'll go up more, you'll feel great, and then you get back in and then it crashes. A lot of cryptocurrency trading is based on pump and dump, bots manipulating prices in ways that make them not behave according to the rules. So what I like to do is to not chase these rumors and the big crazy, pumping stocks, and instead try to look for kind of moderately mid-volume stocks that generally play by the rules. This is a game of probability. So when you're trading, what your goal is to be as computer-like as possible. So your goal is to not be emotional and to kind of use your capital, your portfolio, as a tool where you're going to kind of it's like fishing. You're going to throw out some bait. Sometimes you'll catch a fish, and it'll be a little fish or a big fish. But your goal is to preserve your fishing rod. So you'll throw it out. If you don't catch anything, reel it back in. You lost a worm, that's okay. Put another worm on, throw it back out. You don't want to get attached to any one fish. You want to be able to kind of preserve that capital. And that means, number one, don't trade without a plan. So I've made a rule that I'm no longer going to make trades. I'm not going to buy or sell anything unless I can look at the chart and draw some lines on it so that I can predict behavior. I'm not just going to respond buying or selling. Number two is to set a stop loss. Make sure that you don't want to throw all of your bait out on one line. You want to put one worm out every time. And if it gets eaten, who cares? It's just one worm. So that means you need to protect your capital with a stop loss. Number three is you need to have a plan. When you're risking a worm, you want to try to catch a fish, but you don't want to, you know, kind of in the moment be trying to decide where you're going to exit the trade. You want to know that in advance so that you know if X, then Y. That's called a trading plan, and trading without a plan is just total gambling at the casino. I don't believe that trading overall is gambling. I guess maybe it is gambling, but you're the casino. So the way a casino makes money, they're constantly gambling. Nobody gambles more than the Bellagio, you know, like the actual casino. They're gambling constantly because they have an edge. They have a probability edge that the more they gamble, the more they're going to take in this sort of small profit based on their probability. That's what we're trying to do here with trading as well, is to generate a competitive edge, something where across lots of trades, probability says you'll be successful more often than not. So don't get too attached to any one trade. Don't feel regret over, hey, I could have made more money. If you have a loser, get out of the loser and preserve your capital. That would be my advice. Now, keep in mind, I have been trading for 2 weeks, so I'm hardly an expert. But on the other hand, I think that kind of teaching and learning, sometimes it's best to, like when we do the Practical Board Repair School course, sometimes you can learn more from watching people trying to learn and seeing their mistakes. So that's why we're going to do kind of this set of videos.
There's also a really good book, I think, by Charles Ellis called "Winning the Loser's Game," which is an argument that he's made, I think, since the 70s, that you're always going to lose as a day trader, that there is no winning as a day trader, and that if you just buy the top, you know, let's say if you in stocks, you buy the S&P 500 index funds, that you're always going to beat the day traders. And I kind of wonder if there's some truth to that when it comes to cryptocurrency as well, even though there is no index fund at this time.
Well, it's a big kind of difference, trading versus investing in the amount of time. I mean, I think that's what I've noticed in those last 2 weeks, is that the amount of time, if I were to sit here 24 hours a day, I am sure that I could be profitable. In fact, I would guess that I could be more profitable as a day trader than as an investor. But it requires so much of my time to sit here and look for you know, entries and exits and do all that stuff. If you're a swing trader where you're trading over a course of a couple days, or an investor, then I think that the amount of time is much less. Okay, so
what's our first lesson for the day?
What's our first lesson for the day? Well, why don't you tell us what have you learned as you've just kind of gotten into the hassle of getting money into crypto?
Pay the miners their fair share. So I thought that I would use a credit card to buy in first, because if I use a credit card just to get some money in before my wire transfer completes. And so I did that, and then I bought in, and I bought a small amount of Ethereum. You know,
on Coinbase?
Yeah, so a small, humble $1 million loan of Ethereum. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, from Coinbase, I just bought this stupid little $300 of Ethereum while I was waiting for my large wire transfer to finish at GDAX. I figured while I'm waiting, let me just learn. And I transferred it to my wallet, and then I tried to send, just to make sure I could receive it in a wallet. And then I just make sure my wallet was working, and then I went to send it to exchanges. And for 3 days, I couldn't get it to send. And then in my app, I had something like double or quadruple the fee in order for it to actually go through and work. So yeah, I was using Coinomi, and there's a settings option in Ethereum. I'm sure there's going to be like 50 people that tell me I'm a noob for even doing this, but I had to go to transaction fees for Ethereum, and I had to up the gas price by 4 times just to get my Ethereum to send.
So of course, so that was an initial option, and you picked cheapest on day one, and then you realize.
Yeah, I was sending with the default amount, and the default amount was not good enough for the miners. They were saying, "Fuck this, we're not sending your currency. Pay us more money."
All right. Okay, so
pay your miners their fair share, as Mr. Sanders would say.
All right, fair enough. So that's lesson number one from Lewis. All right, so are you trading on Binance?
Yeah, I'm on Binance now and on Kucoin because I was looking at buying Red Pulse later. So I think Kucoin is still accepting registrations. Binance is closed at the moment, so you're kind of screwed if you don't. I think that people should at least try to get on Kucoin if they're unable to get on Binance, because these exchanges are closing rapidly because they can't deal with the
demand. I wanted to get on Bittrex and they were closed and they're still closed. So, I agree with that.
A bunch of them are closed, yeah.
Which, as they should be, like I would rather them close than crash, which was happening the other day with Binance when, there were some guys that were in a trade for 4.5, 5 Bitcoins. That's like crazy money. And they like couldn't sell because the Binance crashed. Not cool. So I'm heads up. Good job on Binance. All right, let's see, how do we start? First thing is when you go to Binance. So we're going to trade here on Binance, and we talked in the last video on how to get to Binance and how to get money into Binance, how to get from US dollars or some kind of local currency into Bitcoin or Ethereum, something that you can transfer and change into other altcoins. So we already talked about that. And so now we'll assume that you are at an exchange like Binance or one of the other ones, and that you now have the ability to trade. So this video is about how to trade and things that we think about for trading. So first, let's go on a hunt for what coins should we look at if we want to do a short term, like a day trade now. So let's how
do you choose which coins? I think that's the first question people are going to have. How do you, because there's a list of like 50 or 100 of them. How do you choose a coin that you're even going to bother charting or looking at?
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to cointracking.info. So this is cointracking.info. And this is the place where I keep track of all of my trades. That I think is really important. Once you start trading, then you have kind of no idea. Did I even make money on that? Did I make Bitcoin and did I make US dollars? And what's the, a lot of times you can lose Bitcoin but make US dollars, and it kind of gets to be pretty overwhelming, especially if you're on more than one exchange. So coin tracking is nice because it allows you to enter coins so you can manually import your trades. But what I really like to do is go to the exchange import and then import all of my trades from a easy to do export out of Binance. And then I can look at like realized and unrealized gains. So realized and unrealized gains, and that will tell me how I did on various trades. But from here, let's look at charts and trends. Let's look at coin trends. And I think this is kind of a good place to start. So it's slow internet is loading currencies. All right, so now we can kind of sort this by volume, because volume is really what drives short-term price movements. Nothing's going to move unless it has high volume. All right, so Bitcoin itself is at the top of the list, and then we have Ethereum and Ripple, and then we have this coin, which is the USDT tethered. It's supposed to be tethered to the dollar. So this really isn't one that you kind of trade for money. That's where you put your coins if everything is crashing. Okay, so then we've got all of these different choices here that are all tradable on most of them, I guess, are going to be tradable on Binance. So now let's look over here at the trends. So what I want to look for is something that is sort of recently, I want to look for something that's on sale now, but it's not a total shit coin. So if I were to sort
What's a total shit coin, by the way?
I'm going to go with a total shit coin is anything that is just red all across the top here. Let's see. How about this? Multicoin. That's a shit coin. Status, dead, scam. All right. Price, 0.
Okay, so you get your information on whether it's a shit coin based on going to cointracking.info/coin_trends.php and then seeing which ones are listed as a scam.
Well, okay, that's one way to do it. I mean, I don't really look for shit coins. What I'm looking for is, let's go to volume. What I'm looking for is over here. Let's kind of just scroll through and see. Let's kind of get down here in the middle. Let's look at this Q-TUM, whatever that is, quantum. I don't have any idea. As a day trader, I could care less about the fundamentals or the technology behind the coin. All I care about is technical analysis, charts and prices. So let's see. Shitcoin is a project that has no value. So you'll have to do some actual research on the project and the team. Nope, not interested in that. As a day, if I'm day trading, all I care about is the current price and movement. I couldn't care less about the actual substance of the project. If I'm an investor, then I could care less about the actual movement of the coin today. So I don't care about the chart. I care about the technology behind it. So that's a really
There's actually supposed to be some big announcement at 2 a.m. UK time, which is 9 p.m. EST for QTUM. But you saw what happened yesterday when somebody said that about Tron.
Yeah, exactly. So buy the rumor, sell the news. You know.
So let's see if that's true here. So can you take a note of the price of QTUM since the supposed announcement is coming in 4 minutes?
In 4 minutes? Okay. All right. We can go take a look at that then. QTUM. All right. So let's go over to exchange at Binance, and let's type it in. All right, so here it is. Oh, it's on my favorite list. I must have traded that sucker before. All right, so right now it is trading at 004400. Let's just kind of keep that in mind. I don't think this one should be one that we pick to actively trade now, and here's why. If you look at these numbers here, in the last 30 days, this coin is up 548%. That's a lot. In 7 days, it's gone up 60%. In 24 hours, it's gone up 55%. And in 1 hour, it's gone up 13%. So since we're not able to short sell coins, does this look like something that is likely to continue to go up even more? Or does it look like it's due for a retracement and it's going to, you know, kind of get a little bit of a haircut? What do you think?
What does the chart look like? What do we have?
I don't care. I'm not even going to look at the chart. The answer is that's already super high. So I don't want to... If I'm wrong on this one, it could really tank because it's up so high.
So is Ripple at $1.
Well, so
is XRB at like $5.
So was Bitcoin at $500. Why don't you make a trade there on QTUM and see if you can do better?
No thanks.
No, okay. Yeah, see, you're smarter than you think. All right, so how about this one? This one, oh, fuck that one. Okay, pass on Tron, just due to fuck you, Tron. All right, let's see.
Why the hate on Tron?
Oh, well, we can talk about Tron later. Actually, Tron would probably be a perfectly fine one to trade, but my chart will be littered with other shit. We got to pick something that is... so let's look for ones. Let's skip these ones that are sort of green, green, green all the way, and look at. Let's go on a hunt. You know,
what about Verge?
How about Monero? Verge is up 8% in the last hour. I want something that's on sale, something that I think is going to return to a previously high value, not something that's already... I don't want to buy... I want to buy low, sell high. All right, so this one, Monero, has gone down 2% in the last hour when previously it was up, and it's generally a pretty healthy coin. Or Dash has gone down in... Remember, this column here is in the last hour. So let's see what else is kind of in this list here. All right, I have no idea what this coin is. H-Share coin. H-Share coin has over a month gone up 66%. But then it's over the last week has gone down. It went up a little bit yesterday, but now it's back down. So that might be one that I would look at a chart for. All right, let's see what else. All right, here's, well, I've traded this quite a bit today. In fact, I think I'm in an active trade on this one, because this one would be one that I would pick. This coin is super popular. It's gone up 1,600% in a month, 700% this week, so it's been on a tear, but then it got a haircut. It fell back 30% yesterday, and now it's up 7% today. So that one might have more room to kind of, you know, it's kind of, it's almost like you can envision that it is just, you know, no market can go up forever. So it has to be able to kind of dip down and correct itself. So that one, I'm looking for ones that might be like returning from a correction. All right, pick one that you want to look at.
Let's find something.
How about Poe? Poe is another one that's like, here's super popular Poe.
That just got listed on Kucoin, so that would explain some of the.
Okay, I like Poe. Poe's the one that's like the digital media copyright coin. Let's take a look at the chart for it and just see how we feel. All right, so let's look at Poe. All right, so let's go to TradeView. So we're going to chart here in TradeView, and let's see what we can learn here. All right, so we're going to go to chart, and we're going to go get away from the last one that I was looking at, and we're going to go to look for Poe Bitcoin as it is on Binance, which I noticed today that I accidentally picked Bittrex instead of Binance for a trade that I was doing, and there was a marked difference between the two. All right, so let's look at Poe, and let's get a good overview of it. So I'm going to just type it in there here on charting. This is at tradingview.com. This is free. So I want to take a broad look. So let's look at like kind of a 4-hour time scale. So that makes each of these little candles worth 4 hours. So this is like a really kind of broad view that's going to take me all the way back to a couple of weeks ago as I look at this entire thing. So down here on the bottom in the I can't quite tell if OBS can see that. I can't click over to OBS either. But down here on the bottom, you can see volume, and volume is what really drives movement in the market. So there was a large uptrend here, a dramatic uptrend. That's huge. And then after that uptrend, it kind of corrected back down by maybe 25%. And then it started another uptrend, and then it's kind of been in a bit of a range since then. Let's drill down a little bit and go to maybe 30-minute candles. All right, so here on the 30-minute candles, we can still see that big uptrend, and then it kind of fell back and made this sort of, you know, bowl-looking thing. And then as we kind of come over here, it looks like it's really been in a range. It's been up and down, up and down. So in this section here, you can make money because it sort of behaves in a predictable way. It goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down. Buy, up, sell, down, buy, up, sell, down, buy. So you can make money when you notice that something is trading in a range. All right, consider your transaction fees. I think that's really really important, and for Binance, the transaction fees are low. If you were trying to day trade stocks, it could cost you $6 or $7 to enter a trade and $6 or $7 to leave a trade. So if you have a trade that's a loser, or even one that's just staying still, it's really hard to make money if you are just kind of, if you're going to only be able to afford to invest $100 on a trade, if 7% of that is your trading fees on the way in and another 7% on the way out, you know, then that means that you have to, your stock has to go up by 15% for you to even make $1. So for cryptocurrency trading, the fees are much less. They're to the tune of $1, and that makes it so that you can kind of enter a trade and get out of a trade and it doesn't really, it's not required to increase or increase by 15% in order for you to make any money. All right, so let's look at this. So what is it doing right now? Let's kind of drill down on this current area. It looks like right now it's sort of still in this kind of range looking pattern, although the range is narrowing. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller. All right, so let's kind of drill down here, and let's move from 30-minute candles to 15-minute candles, and we can kind of narrow this down and see where it is now. And then let's go from 15 to 5-minute candles. So this one isn't really a fantastic one to trade right now because the range is really narrow. So if we look here at this candle, it looks like the bottom is at 1157, and then up here at this top, the top is at 1288. So that's pretty much like 100 Satoshis or Bitcoin pennies. That's not a huge difference, and it really looks like it's going to kind of flatten out here. Now this pattern, I think, will tend to, it's kind of making a triangle here, and eventually that's going to kind of force the thing to either go up or down one way or the other, either begin a downtrend or begin an uptrend. So that I don't think that we'll be able to predict. The volume is really low, and we could put some lines on here and try to guess, but it's really kind of in this sort of decreasing channel. Let's go ahead and put some trend lines on here anyway. So we could put a line like this. So something like that. And then we could put a line like this. All right, so this stock is kind of forming a flag, and we could guess that it still has some time in here to kind of continue to just bunk between these 2 points, but that's not really enough for us to really make any money, I don't think. But if we come back, and we can even see at what time do we need to come back and reinvestigate, this time scale down here at the bottom, this kind of tells us that, I didn't want to make that thing. This tells us that oh, by the way, I changed to New York time instead of UTC. This tells us that at 1:30 in the morning, this coin is going to get to the point of this triangle, and at that time, it will have to either start an uptrend or start a downtrend, because they can't really just stay flat forever. So we could kind of, make a note of that and come back and revisit. But I don't think that there's a trade here that I would take. What do you think, Lewis? Do you want to trade Poe?
Not really. It's not going to be exciting for a day trade. For long term, maybe, depending on whether you believe in the technology or the people behind it or its uses. But for day trading, it seems fairly boring.
So we'll put this in the investment category. So we'll go back to the drawing board and find something else to trade. So let's go back up where volume. Volume is what kind of drives motion. How about Ripple? Ripple is up here at the top for volume, so that means it's very active. And in the last hour, it has gone down. It has been up modestly over the last day, but it has been up dramatically prior to that. So maybe we should take a look at Ripple based on volume. What do you think? There's a fire behind you. Oh my God, you're so right. Okay. Bitcoin comprises 30% of my portfolio. Okay, let's take a look at Ripple. So let's go here and say, how do we find a Ripple chart? So Ripple, and we want to look for the Ripple Bitcoin, not on Poloniex, because we are not trading on that exchange. We want to, not on Bitstamp, we want to find the Ripple on Binance. All right, so here we are, Ripple BTC on Binance. So we'll click that, and then we'll do the same thing. Let's get a big view, and we can see that it was steady for a long time at cheap o'clock, and then went up, fell back modestly, little bit of a flat line, and then went up, fell back modestly, and then it caught on fire, and this is when it went to that number 2 position, unseating Ethereum. So it went up pretty high here over a period of a day or so, and then it fell back dramatically, range, and then it had another big upswing, fell back, and now here we are now. So just from looking at this, we could predict what? I'm going to predict that it would go in a range, and then it'll either uptrend or downtrend. But just kind of from how it's been behaving before, it's up, back, range, up, back, range, up, back, range, up, back, range. So the whether or not Ripple is going to have another breakout is, you know, we don't know. But let's drill down a little bit. So let's go from 4 hours to 30 minutes. And see what we can see. So now we can see the most recent uptrend, the most recent downtrend, and then it has gone up, and now it's come back down out of a downtrend now, and here we are. All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's go down to 15 minutes and add some more detail. So earlier today, like maybe 2 hours ago or so, there was a, you know, big green candle up, and since then it has kind of been remaining stable. So what we could do right now is let's go to 5 minutes, and let's kind of make this, I gotta stop drawing those lines. All right, let's go here. Let's say that right now it has finished a downtrend. It's probably in a range. So we could probably make a horizontal line here at 15,759. And then we would make this sort of top line here at 16,019 and just kind of let it bonk along in that range. We could similarly kind of try to make a little flag here as well. But likely it's just going to continue in this range. For fun, we can... someone in 2010 bought 2 pizzas with 10,000 Bitcoins. Yeah, that's painful. Hopefully he had a lot of other Bitcoins too. All right, so let's make a trend line here that kind of marks this uptrend.
I wonder if the person who bought a pizza with 10,000 Bitcoins is still with us.
I bet he had like 40 other thousand Bitcoins behind that. He'll have a great story for the grandkids, assuming he's not dead. I did read about one. Like,
I agree with binary
suicide
number.
thing. He probably already committed suicide.
That's sad, but
Why? I don't think so. Some people sold their house to get in Bitcoin. Well, they've probably got a really nice house now. All right, so as we look at what's going on with this Ripple stock or Ripple coin right now, we can see that it was kind of moderately following a little bit of an uptrend. And then if we look closely right now, let's go down to the 1 minute time frame and let's embiggen that. If we had, we can see that it has recently broken this modest uptrend that it was following. So that means that it's likely to go down. It stopped bouncing along this line. This line stopped, it's changing its pattern from following that uptrend line. And so now we can expect it to go down. So our question would be, oh, great, something's going down. That's good because it will eventually be a buy. We want to buy something when it's going down. We don't want to buy stuff that's already going up. So how far back will it go? How much how much further down will it go? Where would our buy signal be? So I want to show you another tool that I use a lot, and that would be to use this crazy magic of Fibonacci retracement tools. So let's go back to the broad view. So we're going to go back to our 4 hour view, and you got to learn how to mess around with these things to get them to look reasonable. All right, so here's what this looks like. Let's actually make that 2 hours for a little bit more. Okay, that's a little bit too tall. All right, picture like that. So I want to look at that picture. And then I'm going to go over here and pick the pitchfork. And then after the pitchfork, the Fibonacci Retracement. So this tool is pretty cool. I don't know that coins or stocks actually magically follow the natural pattern of Fibonacci, but I know that traders think they do. And so since traders influence the market, then
everything follows that pattern.
Then if traders believe that this will happen, then they will act on that information and therefore it will happen. So it may be just a self-fulfilling prophecy, but let's see. So I'm going to pick something along this sort of flat line before we got into the current pattern. And from there, I'm going to draw this crazy
It appears
structure.
in sunflowers. It appears in plants. It appears in petals.
Yeah.
The lily, the buttercup, the snail.
Right. So we got to figure this out here, where we want to make these Fibonacci retracements kind of match the ranges that we have on this stock already. So what I'm looking at that red-yellow border, there was a point where it went up. See that when it first went up on that big uptrend early on, it stopped right when it hit that red-yellow border. All right, so I'm going to go with that. I think I'm good with that. What I like about this placement is that here at the red-yellow border, that was kind of a hard stop, and then it retraced all the way down to this border right there, and then that was a stop. And then since then, it's kind of lived in here. Each one of these levels means it likes to trade within that level, but it does not like to cross those levels. So we could edit this a little bit. Oh shit, I'm drawing another one. Delete. Let's go back and click arrow. Who was diagnosed with PTSD in 2016? I don't know. Jessa and Lewis, what's your net profit loss for the past 2 weeks of trading? As of last night, last night I made an emotional trade. I walked away from a trade that I was in without setting a stop loss and really without even paying attention because I was up so high that I felt sort of a sense of immunity. So about 24 hours ago, I was plus, let's see, I was plus $7,000 in 2 weeks of trading, which I had, that's 50% up. And then I recklessly had an active trade. I did not set a stop loss. And I honestly just didn't, I thought it would stay the same or go up based on news. And I just didn't think that it just didn't cross my mind that it could have a giant crash because it had just been so, in my 2 weeks experience, just so strong. And all of the sort of news and media, this was the Tron TRX stock that had the giant crash last night. And the whole world loved Justin Sun, the Tron founder, and it seemed like it was going to be like the Chinese #1 coin, and it may still be, I don't know. But what happened at his presentation, which was live, he totally bombed, and it dramatically crashed. Now did not have eyes on a computer or a chart at that time. All I knew is that it was dramatically falling. And on the way down, I had an open buy order from earlier in the day. So it filled a buy order on the way down and left me really, really exposed. So on that one trade that was a hard lesson to learn on setting stop losses. And I think I definitely lost $10,000 in about 60 seconds. Then I kind of crawled back out of that hole that night. So I think now I'm at -6 from my high, but still it's kind of more reasonable since the beginning. Alrighty, so we're doing a Fibonacci retracement to try to answer the question of here on the Ripple stock, which is just crossed a trend line, how far back would it go and what would be our buy point? So we're going to kind of adjust these a little bit. And
How far back do you usually go for the Fibonacci retracement?
I mean, I don't know, I'm just making this up, but what I do is
Usually you're supposed to go from the lowest to the highest point, but from what time period? It seems open.
I drill back. I just make it say 4 hours until I can see it being like really flat on the end. Like even here, we could probably go back to there, maybe. Yeah, that seems reasonable. All right, and then put that more like this. Yeah, this one isn't as sharply obeying these retracements as some of them do. Some of them, it's just absolutely spot on. This one, not so much. All right, let's go with that. And then let's drill back into our kind of short term. Let's pick 3 minutes. And let's make this have some kind of structure here. Okay, so now we can see that, remember that early on we said this is likely to be just in a range. And that's probably what's happening here. But the range is really, really narrow. So it did just break a kind of modest path up right here. So in theory, it would then, you know, likely be continuing down only to return high again. So we could say, I'm interested if it gets all the way down here to this green-yellow border. So 14,718, you know, you could say I'm interested in that. But this doesn't really look like there's going to be a whole lot going on in anytime soon, unless there's some kind of news event. You know, so it's had this sort of long, drawn-out downtrend here. It did reverse that, and it's going back up, but it kind of has, you know, already broken that, unless we want to kind of redefine this uptrend like that. But, you know, this is not going to go anywhere anytime soon. All right. Binary Number wants to put $85,000 into crypto. Still looks like trying to fit science to irrational human emotion. Let me show you one that I did earlier. So let's see. So earlier today, I traded a couple of things. Let's see. I think this one, yeah. So here's a trade that I did earlier today. So let's do the same thing where let's kind of take a broader look. So we've got this stock ARN, or this coin, and I did the exact same thing that we've been talking about now. Let's see. And it seemed to behave a little bit more predictably. So let's go to 15 minutes. And this is where I traded this today. Let's go to 5 minutes and pull over here. All right, so on the 5-minute scale, I came along and I saw it had been kind of bouncing along in a range, and then it started an obvious downtrend, and it actually crossed this line between green and blue. So that was a strong enough downtrend that it continued down into the blue. All right, so what I did is I drew this line here, this downtrend from the top of a red candle to some of the other, you know, kind of bounce along these other red candles. That was my downtrend line. And then this is what's cool about TradeView. I then hit an alert, add alert on this trend line. So when the stock crosses that trend, meaning it stops obeying that pattern, send me an email, create. All right, so then I got a beep, beep, beep. You know, I got an email or an alert. Hey, it crossed the trend line. And so, actually, I take that back. On this one, I do that, what I just said, a lot. But on this particular one, I was watching it, and after it crossed this line, I think I have moved these around a little bit, because what I did was set a buy order. Yeah, it was like this. All right, here we go. All right, yeah. So we had a downtrend, and it according to the retracements, this line here, which you can kind of see if you scroll out enough, I could see that this border between light, teal and dark blue was at 29,572. So what I did was I set an order that, if it crossed that line, that I would buy it. So that's what I did. So I set a buy at 29,501, and then I just kind of walked away. Mark is arriving tomorrow. All right, so let's go here. All right, so 29,501, and then...
How did you set your second line, the one that's going between buy and sell upright?
This one?
Yeah, like, did you set that before the fact to know to buy there? Or?
No,
Or did you set up your buy automatically when it hit the bottom of that Fibonacci line?
Yes. I had that buy set, and I didn't know if it would fill or not. I just thought that was a downtrend, and I picked this one. Remember, ARN, let's go back and look here. ARN is on, it's going to be in this list. Let's see, where did I pick this thing? Here he is, Aeron coin, like the chair. See how it had gone down a lot in the last 24 hours? So that number's, it's taken a haircut of 30% in 24 hours, and yet it had turned around, so it's coming back up. So I thought that it's reasonable that that this is like an overcorrection, and that it would kind of, come back up, especially because it's done really, really well in the last week to month. So it seems like a strong and popular coin, and it had a correction, which is normal, and then it seemed to be coming back. That's why I picked this one, these numbers here. So then I went over here to the chart, and at the time that I was looking at it, I see that, yes, it has been very high, and it goes down, it comes up, and it goes down. So it seemed to be kind of like range trading with a lot of swing between the high and the low. So I thought that was reasonable. So with this one, I came along here. I could see that it was going down. So it was around here. So it had passed this prior low. And so my guess is that it would turn around somewhere close to this line. So what I did was I just set a buy order. That if it got down to this line, I doubted that it would go lower, because it would likely turn around. So this was, I thought, pretty cool that what it actually did. Let's look at if we click on the candle, it'll tell us the actual low. So the actual low was 29,001, and my buy order was at 29,501. So I bought at 29,501, and then as soon as I bought it, let's go to the 1 minute so that we can really see what happened in that moment. All right, let's see. All right, so looking at the 1 minute, yeah, as soon as it hit that blue line, look at that line. Like, as soon as it hit that, how do we lift that off? How do I raise that up? I don't think I can. It almost immediately turned around and then started to come up. So it came up, and then it hit that trend line, and it broke through the trend line, and it went up here. And at that point I was, kind of in profit, and I didn't know whether or not I should sell or hang on to it. So my choice of should I sell or should I hang on to it, is, for me, driven by, all right, what's it doing right now? It's on an uptrend. So I drew this line connecting this green candle and that green candle. I drew a long line there. And then I set an alert there to say, when it crosses this trend line, then sell. So I let it go up and kind of bounce around here. It came here. It bounced. It seemed to bounce off this. I think when you switch from like 1 minute to 3 minute, your lines kind of need adjustment a little bit. So then it went up here, and then it came down, and then right here at this candle, look at that. You can see it crossed the line here at 33,004. And so for me, that was a signal that it's time to sell. And then you can see that now here clearly on the next candle, it's definitely broken my trend line. So to me, that means it's no longer going up, it's going down. So you can see that is 32,490. And so I hit a sell order. And at the time it sold, it was 32,421. You know, so this little thing I thought was a fairly successful trade. And with the amount that I had bought, I think I made $300 on that trade. That's the kind of trading that I like to do. Very predictable, follows the rules, nothing crazy, no pump and dump, just, you know, just doing a little bit of math. So that's what I like to do.
No pump and dump.
No pump and dump. All right. So what do you guys in chat want to look at? Let's actually do a trade.
Verge. Somebody called Verge a scam, and it's went up 10% since he said that.
All right, let's look at Verge. Okay. All right, so Verge is XVG. XVG. I've traded Verge a lot. Let's get a big picture. So let's go back to like a 2-hour time scale. And we can see, just like a lot of these things, used to be worth nothing, and then it went crazy and was worth a lot, and then it dumped back down. So this is marked by these dramatic and quick upturns. Look how narrow that is. And then these longer, longer downtrends. And you can see that that's kind of a pattern. Like when it's green, it is flying. And then it's equally dumping on the way back down. Now this really does seem to be making just a huge and obvious flag. So even on this scale, which is like really broad, you know, we could try to guess here what it's going to do. So I have a relatively poor understanding of what like pennants or flag formations really mean. Let's see, maybe we should get that on there. I know that you can have bear flags and bull flags, and I don't really have a good understanding of that stuff. But my impression with these things are that the stock is indecisive in this range. It's up, no it's down, no it's up, no it's down, no it's up, no it's down, no it's up, no it's down. But the tug of war there is getting narrower and narrower. First it was really big, no we're not, yes we are, no we're not, yes we are, no we're not. It gets to be like, you know, a more and more a smaller tug of war, until eventually it kind of, you know, gets to a point where it would just be a flat line where everybody agrees that's the price and that's what it's going to be. So then anything, you know, will just kind of kick it out of that consensus. So
what's your date on the bottom? You have a little tool covering the dates
down here.
Yeah, you see that little tool to the left, that little toolbar?
That thing? Yeah. Yeah, he's got to go somewhere. Yeah, so this was 1222. All right, so then we could just kind of say, all right, unless something happens, you know, this thing is going to have to make a decision. Usually when you have these, you know, like for example, let's drill down right here and do that exact same thing. Let's like go back in time to this flag formation here. So we could say what happened here, where you kind of had you know, same kind of like triangle thing going on. When you get to the end of the triangle, something goes down. In this case, that's what made, you know, that's sort of the okay, fine. Well, we've had a fight over whether this is worth less or more, and now the slightest thing can make a large change. Look again over here. You know, we have the same pattern. This, you know, is a triangle shaped flag. Oh shit. I'm horrible at drawing these things. Yeah, so that you've got this sort of like coalescing or consolidation of price. And then when you get to the end of it, then something happens. You know, same thing here. And then on a smaller scale than we've done it here, we could do the same thing and say, all right, we are making a little mini flag here.
Someone's asking, that pump happened exactly when John McAfee pumped it on Twitter by announcing it as coin of the day. So how can you trade that reliably?
You can't. That's what I'm saying, is that when these pumps happen, then I try to stay away from them. But what you could do is you could say, I see a flag, and that's the thing. Like, something has to kick it out. So it's almost like at the point of a flag. And by the way, I'm a total noob. This is my guess. The point of the flag means we've been arguing. We've been arguing. It would be like if me and Lewis got in a fight about, what is one of the things we get in a fight about? Door locking. You know, where he's saying, you need to lock doors because of this and this. And I say, people are good. They're not going to steal from you, blah, 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 blah. And we'll have these like long argument. And then the next day, we've already said all that. So the next day, the argument will be like, well, and this and this and this and this and this and this. And then 2 days later, it'll be like, you know, one thing. Yeah, one thing. So our argument kind of coalesces and gets narrow and narrow because we've already fought it out. We're re-saying the same things, and there's really no convincing either one of us until finally we get to a point where we'll just sort of mutually kind of agree to disagree. And then the next day, when anything, like the smallest thing that, you know, could then trigger a massive, see, I told you so. And it could go either way, you know. So the next morning after we finally agreed to stop talking about the door locker argument, you know, then there's this news story that, you know, some man's, you know, entire cryptocurrency wallet that he left in a bar was returned to him unharmed. Then I'll be like, see? And that to me is what these kind of flags do, so that any kind of news is going to trigger a massive movement. So that means that we could kind of look. So you're able to trade the after effects of a pump and dump like a sine wave. Yes. Range trading. Yes. I mean, these follow patterns. I mean, look at this. This goes up. This comes down. It goes back and forth. This goes up. It goes down. It goes back and forth. I mean, it does seem predictable in some ways, so that, remember, back to the beginning, you're a casino with some kind of an edge. It's not always going to do what you think, but probability says, you know, probability says X. And if you do this long enough, you could come up with a trading plan based on those probabilities. And sometimes you're wrong, but more often than not, you would be right. Okay, so it's such an early stage that if you hear good talk, buy. If you hear bad talk, let it pull back and buy. That's pretty funny. Is Binance reputable? As far as I can tell, sure. Okay, so we could make an argument here that we're looking at a relatively large scale pennant formation, but then right here we could say we're looking at a relatively small one, and let's drill down on this small one and see if there's any
How do you tell the difference between a micro trend and a macro trend? Like, how would you know the difference between whether it's going to break in the tiny pennant or the big one?
Well, it's not at the end of the big one, so that will be coming soon. See, if we look at this, if we look at the big one, that fight is going to continue on until January 12th, according to the time scale. So the larger movement here is going to happen on January 12th, unless between now and then something changes the pattern that we're in. So let's go back and look at kind of the micro pattern that we're in right now. Let's kind of adjust these a little bit to kind of fit that. I guess we'll have to go with that. Hey, Betsy. So we can kind of extend these.
Does Betsy invest?
Betsy understands candlesticks. She knows what's what, don't you, Betsy? Yeah, she knows.
Betsy, is XVG a scam?
Like at all today.
Hey, do you think that this is a scam, or what do you think of this pattern?
Goodness. Really bad and kind of good.
Really bad and kind of good. Why do you say it's really bad?
Because there's a lot of red lines.
There's a lot of red lines, I agree. And kind of good because it has some green? Yeah. All right. So let's look at this. So we could say, let's kind of go down even to 15 minutes.
Hey, Mom, are you hungry or thirsty?
No, but thank you for offering to be my waitress. That's very sweet. All right, so you could look out here and be like, okay, on January 7th at 11 o'clock at night, then either this needs to, get out of this pattern or it will be forced to. It really doesn't have an option after
Mom,
that. Yeah.
Is today January,
Today's January 6th. Yes, it is. Very good. I mean, the thing that I think is cool about this is that if you look at these pennants, there's no option to just continue on as you were after the flag. That never happens. Movement happens one way or the other. I don't think we can find one. I don't think we can find one where it made a triangle and then continued on as it was. It doesn't do that. It gets to the end and then something happens. And in all of these cases, it's that it goes up.
Mom?
Well, it'll either go up or down.
Mom?
Yeah.
I'm still making some videos.
Yeah.
Does Betsy pick her lips?
Betsy, do you pick your lips?
What?
Yeah, does Betsy pick her lips out of curiosity?
No. No, she gets chapped lips from being out in the winter, but no, she doesn't pick her lips. Definitely not.
Impressive.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hey, Mom, can we play down here now?
Yeah, you guys can play, sure.
Betsy, let's bring our game down here.
Yeah, that's a great plan.
We're playing on the stairs and we don't really...
What game are you guys playing?
Well, we're playing with our old toys, remember?
Oh, right.
And we're playing a sea and island game.
A sea and island game. That sounds really fun. I mean, look at this. Like, just since we've been kind of like talking here, it doesn't leave the boundaries of this triangle. Why? How does it know? How does it know? Ah. All right. So, I still don't think I don't think that it's going to leave the borders of this triangle until later. What do you think about this?
How many times are you allowed to have it cross? Because some of your trend lines that you draw, they kind of cross over the other lines.
Like what? The big flag and the little flag? Well,
Yeah,
I think a lot of that...
sometimes it went under your big line or...
Yeah, well, that I think is just, it's hard. And if you switch between scales, like if we go from 5 minutes to 1 minute where there's a lot more noise. Like these lines were drawn at the 2-hour scale. I think the fact that it follows them at all is pretty remarkable. But
it's interesting how predictable human behavior is.
Yeah, or is it a self-fulfilling prophecy where it's like, well, everybody draws these triangle lines and goes, well, it's not going to go out of the triangle. So if it gets to the top, no one is going to buy it because it's at the top of the triangle. So fuck that. I wonder how much of it is that. All right, so this one XVG, I don't think there's a move to make, which would be cool to write down these predictions. Where
if you had bought at the start of the stream like I had recommended instead of calling it a scam.
I didn't call it a scam.
No, the person in chat called it a scam.
All right. Mofo. All right, but here's
what a mofo.
My prediction is that at this price, which is 11:17 for XVG at 9:44 p.m. I don't think that it will either be above 11:39 or below 10:18 until let's see. Until sometime around here. How do I make that? How do I know when that is? Let's go to a different scale. All right, until January 7th at what is that? 8:30? 8:30 p.m. somewhere around somewhere or at or after that time, it will then cross. You know, it'll then make a move one way or the other. That's my prediction. That's my crystal ball.
I think it'll go to 12:30 to 12:50 within the next 12 hours.
Within the next 12 hours?
Let's see.
All right, let's see. Let's take this.
By the way, this stream is sponsored by iPad Rehab. If you like the stream, if you like the information she's given out, leave a super chat anytime. Highly appreciated. None of it goes to me or my cat. It all goes to Jessa and her adorable children.
Like I said, you were hilarious. You're like, well, aren't you worried about the IRS? No, no one ever donates on my stream ever. So not a concern. All right, let's pick a different one. Let's actually do something because this is otherwise getting really boring. Pick a good one.
You should put your password and your user information for your Binance in the chat and see if everybody else can trade better.
That's like the ultimate door locker, you know, argument right there. Like, I think I could post my Binance username and password, and you know, everybody would just try to help out, try to, you know, make a few trades, earn a couple of bucks for old iPad Rehab. Nothing bad could happen with that. All right.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. All right, so let's. I will say that with trading, with day trading, hey, I got $2 from Emma. Thanks, Emma. All right. I still think there's a chance. Did you log on as Emma? I'm pretty. That sounds totally possible.
That sounds like something I would do.
Yeah, it does. All right. So we need. Here's the thing with day trading, though. Day trading takes an extraordinary amount of time. If you leave and stop watching it at the wrong time, when your stock is moving, and you know, like I did last night with the goddamn Tron, then you can really get screwed. Maybe we should jump back into Tron, try to get a little hair in the dog.
The time for that was this morning. It's up to 1,000 again. People keep saying news is coming, but I listened to that guy's live stream. Did you listen to the entire 1 hour thing?
I listened to 0 hours and 0 minutes, 0 seconds.
It was terrible. He just said, you know, we decentralize the internet. Then there's schools and there's Jack Ma and Facebook and decentralization, and we make the coin, and it has nothing to do with a language barrier. He just has no idea how to organize his ideas for an audience of investors who are going to tear them apart.
All right.
It's like putting a shy person as the White House, you know, press pool correspondent in this.
All right, let's look at Monero then. Let's just hunt until we can find something on the move. XMR. I think that discipline, though, says like with trades that you kind of you want to do something, and so you're unwilling to like just do nothing. Now this weird looking pattern. Asks,
how can Jessa swim in a silo of Bitcoin?
I don't have an answer for that. All right, so let's look at good old Monero, the first coin that we got into with UFR upfiring is one that I looked at recently that's being shilled everywhere. Can you see if there's anything objectively tradable about that? UFR.
Is there any butterfly?
Is that really a thing? By the way, you know, here is a strong uptrend right now on XMR, and I will point out that I said, hey, let's look at XMR at the beginning of the stream, but got totally down. All right, let's see.
What if people are just buying the coins that we're talking about as we're talking about?
I thought about that, but I will say, like, let's go back in time. Remember when we first looked at this list? When I scanned through the list, the first thing that I said was, like Monero, let's look at, remember I said it was a good, solid, strong coin that generally performs well, that has that's on sale today at 2% off, that is not like, you know, crazy 2,000% up or anything like that. This is kind of a solid player, a well-known coin that seems to be on sale. So that still remains where I would have looked at the beginning of the stream to see what's going on with it. At this point right now, with this one, you know, we see that it had a recent big decline, and I bet that if we did our little Fibonacci retracements, that we would see that this support here probably corresponds to one of those, and that we probably could have predicted that. Just like this looks very much like that Aaron trade that I did earlier today. So we probably could have predicted that bounce and then had a buy somewhere around here, which if we did buy, then we could have created an uptrend line, because it's clearly going in an uptrend that would look like this. You know, and even now you could make an argument that it's still a buy until it crosses that line. There's just probably not very much more room in it, because there's you know, kind of clearly some historical resistance right there. So it's probably, you know, kind of too close to, what is the difference between that? You know, the high of those candles are at like 25,813, and it's at 25,558 right now. So that's gonna be, it's gonna be tough for it to cross through that. Look at that long, you know, like it doesn't like to go above that. So it'll probably bounce around there after that. So not that great right now, but it would have been great down here. All right, so let's go back. So what are we looking at? Everyone is calling Litecoin at the moment. Watch that fly up. All right, let's look at Litecoin, then we can look at the other guy's coin. Litecoin. I kind of like the idea of let's look at the coins that chat suggests. All right, so here's Litecoin. All right, so Litecoin is getting off of probably an inappropriately mean downtrend. Litecoin was actually on my watch list earlier today. I think I actually made a Litecoin trade today. Let's see what we can learn from it. So let's get it tiny. All right, so something like this. Let's do our Fibonacci's on this and see if we can learn anything. So we'll pick I don't know if we should go from here or over there. Let's pick this low. All right, and then let's put this probably, let's see, should it go here? I think it should go there. Ah! I did not mean to do that. How do I get rid of this? God damn it. It's going to be a bitch to try to get rid of this. Do you know how to get rid of this whole panel? Hide drawings toolbar. No.
Good question.
I want to hide this toolbar. Boo! How do I hide it? Is it this? Hide that? No.
What have you done?
Hide. 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 Hide my trade alerts. This. Hide it. Yay. All right. Damn it. No, I lost my spot.
We got some, I know.
Well, that is one of the things. I'm just going to stick it there so that I can move over. That I find tough is, maybe it's because my monitor is like the long skinny one. All right, so let's see. We wanted to put it, let's see, let's make it be bouncing.
How do you choose where to put the top of your Fibonacci retracement?
randomly. I think the next part of kind of learning that I'd like to do would be to really figure out what, I mean, this is a conventional rule that everybody follows, so I would think it has rules. I just don't know what they are. I'm gonna stick it there. You do one, see if yours matches.
Yeah, I'll put one on. We have some requests from the audience. We have Zcash and Dash, and from our donator, we have a request for looking at XRP.
We just looked at XRP, but we can look at it again. Okay, so let's look at this though. So we're here at Litecoin. So now that we've got this up, let's go back down to our like kind of narrower time scale. Oh no, I lost my little scale over here that lets me crank it down. All right, let's go down even. Oh, let's stay at 15 minutes.
So we know what ducks do. I'm actually gonna spend some time with them. Yeah.
All right, so let's pick it like this, and all right, let's go.
What should we do? Hey guys, do you dare me to go under? Why did you take out Christmas duck?
Christmas duck. Well, you guys have a lot of
Have fun.
animals over there. All right, so this looks like another flag, doesn't it?
Pretend this girl didn't just like.
All right, so for now we can say let's put a trend line on here for the downtrend. So let's do this trend, and you can probably do a couple of these. So if we pick this,
They don't want a baby.
who doesn't want a baby?
This game.
Huh?
These two people.
Oh, why don't they want a baby?
They think it's too much work.
They think it's too much work. No, they're right. They're
Get an
smart.
IUD.
They're smart people. They are some smart ducks. All right, we could probably do either one of those and say, all right, so it is definitely just recently broken this first downtrend, and it looks like it's also recently broken that downtrend as well. So, you know, maybe we could consider this to be evidence that it is going to, you know, kind of potentially go up. So let's see. In that case, we're really not close. We could at least probably go up to our yellow line here. So let's see. The yellow line is at, God damn, it's hard to see on this thing. The yellow line is at 17,141.
Mom,
Yes.
Mom.
can we let an underdog?
Yeah, you can let an underdog, fine. All right, and so the, yeah, I mean, it seems like it's been in a downtrend that it seems to have broken. All right, so let's like buy something because of, you know, we want to make.
Buy $200,000 of Litecoin.
Okay, let's do that. That sounds good. All right, so we're gonna say that in our estimation, Litecoin is on sale. So let's see, it's trading over here at 16.53. Now the other thing to look at is sells and buys here. So we can see this light pink and light green that kind of tell us the light pink is going to push the price down, and the light green is going to kind of push the price up. So it looks kind of, if anything, it's going to go down a little bit from there. So 16,594, we can see that there's a lot of buyers here at 16,594. So 16,593, and then down here people want to buy it at 16,563, 16,564. All right, so let's just put. All right, let's make a little buy for $300 worth of Litecoin at 16. See it, we were slow on that. All right, let's do. Let's see, which 16,562. Let's just see if it'll fill that. 562. So we're There, maybe we got filled. All right, 16,562. Let's look and see if we filled that. Oh, look, I did trade it today. I bought it at 16,010 and I sold it at 16,678. So that's a pretty good trade. That's a pretty good swing. All right, so we just put a limit buy on 16,562 and it's unclear whether or not it filled because it did touch that. So let's go over to trade history and see if it filled. Let's see. Open orders. All right, so it's still sitting there at 16,562. So let's go back. 16,562. 562. Fill, you piece of shit. God damn it. All right, so for our example now, we're already quite higher than we want to be. All right, but I still want to have an example, so we'll cancel that order, and we're just gonna have to do a market buy. All right, so what did we get in it? 16,599. All right, let's go back to our chart. 16,599. All right, so we're gonna go with our analysis that because we broke these two trends that have been going on since 6:45 p.m. So that's, you know, a couple of hours. We've definitely have broken that trend. So we're going to say probability says that we won't go back down before we go back up. So we're going to expect this to, you know, at least go up to where it was here. And then we'll see whether or not we get, you know, so our target then, if we think about, hey, you got to know where you're going to get out. Conservatively, you could say my target would be 17,177, like right at this line. Let's click over here and look at some of these candles and see where is the typical resistance here. This candle is, the high was 17,230. This one, the high was 17,150. All right, so I don't want to do that. So we could say that we are going to say that we're wrong and put a stop if it were to go below this. So our stop would be like 16,120, and then we would consider getting out at 17,165 unless it started following an uptrend, in which case we draw a line and then just wait for it to cross that line. All right. What other one should we look? So we'll come back to that. See what happens. See if we're right.
We have another rehab here.
Another rehab. It's Larry. I hear Lewis there with you. Yeah. You don't recognize Larry? Here's
not at all. Handheld rehab sounds like masturbation clinic or something.
Okay,
like
wow.
Rehab from too much.
All right, I wish I could find this.
Hey, Verge crossed my lines.
Verge crossed your lines. All right, where's your lines?
It's going up and up and up. I don't know how to show you where my lines are.
All right, let's just make a XVG.
Whoa.
Verge crossed your lines. It's getting out of your triangle.
It's getting out of that, and it's about to get out of the second triangle.
Are you looking at the the 1 minute thing? Did you buy Verge?
Yeah, at 10:20.
At 10:20. All right.
Go.
10:20. All right. So what made you buy Verge at 10:20? When was that?
I threw a dart at a board of that was a print screen of Binance.
What? When did you do that? Yesterday, today, or what?
This morning.
Was it this morning? Like
sometime earlier today.
What time would Lewis have woken up? Probably.
Actually, let me see. I could look at.
Probably late.
Hey, I don't wake up late. Is there anybody in the chat that can defend me here? I wake up early. Okay. Yeah, I made the trade at 2:20. So
2:20 p.m. Yeah. Yeah.
2:20.
Yeah. In the morning.
That sounds
Yeah.
like about the. That sounds. No,
Yeah.
2:20 p.m. That sounds like the time that I would wake up on a Saturday.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. So you like bought it on this
Okay, and Grandpa can't do it. He's
like
too old.
around one of these around here. You thought it was at
Well,
the
no,
end of that
that's still
downtrend?
late. You got to drag back. It'll be at 14:20. So you're at.
I'm on the wrong
know,
scale
dragging.
for that. That's too hard. But let's go back to. I thought that it would save my little like triangle stuff. All right, maybe let's go back to like 5 minutes or so. Didn't we look at Verge? Wasn't that one of the? Didn't we look at that? Pretty sure. Yeah, that's my prediction. I said it's not going to get out of the triangle. That's what I said.
It will take a while to think.
Yeah, I said it would not cross 11:11, so it did. All right, good. Well, that's. I wish that it had saved the chart.
Is there a way that I can easily send my picture to you on TradingView?
Yeah, go back to the Discord channel.
Extra parachute stuff.
Like, I mean, can I send you my graph with my lines and all that stuff?
Take a screenshot and post it in the Discord channel.
Actually, I can do publish idea. Continue publishing.
I don't know about that. You could try. All right.
Oh no, it's not letting me do it. Lame. Let's see. I can tweet it. Take an instant snapshot of your chart. All right, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take an instant snapshot and send it to you.
Okay.
This is so cool. And this is totally by accident because I have no idea. I'm not a day trader. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, you are. You're a day trader just as much as anybody else. All right. I really want to know how. I really want to know where those lines were from our triangles from before.
All right.
Delete. Let's see. Delete.
Okay, where's the Discord thingy? Nobody joined our Discord. I think we must have made it not work or something.
Yeah, join our Discord. Jump on.
Anybody
wait.
could join and completely shit can the stream.
Yes. I posted the. Here, let's post that in chat. I think you go here, invite people.
Hey, there's somebody there. Says somebody been there since 8:48. His name is Nicola.
People who die.
We didn't even notice
Wait,
him.
why can't we hear him?
He's been kind. He didn't shitpost or anything. Look
Wait,
at
what are you
that.
talking about? I only see me and you in general voice. Oh, wait,
In general, there's a Nicola.
what?
So do you see my chart?
Ooh, I forgot the pod drinking.
Oh wait, yeah.
Lots of
Nico
water.
AKZ.
Oh, that really makes me hungry for water.
Chunky puffs. Prepare for shit canning. All right. Oh, is this your chart or is this what I drew earlier?
That's my chart. I just.
I've been in this while for.
Yeah, I see
We're
your
talking
chart.
about making money, girl.
I've been.
All right,
at that
let's see.
little place for one
Didn't
day
announce?
in
What are you talking
years.
about?
One day years.
They're saying that we didn't announce the Discord.
Longer.
I put it in the video description. Oh wait.
Nobody reads the video description. If they did, they wouldn't ask, what soldering iron you use, madame, please? Madame, do you have business?
Yes, you're.
Nobody reads the video description, ever.
Take some water.
Ever.
Yeah.
On all of YouTube.
That's probably true. All right, yeah, it's definitely like kind of less triangle-y. Like if I was gonna make a triangle again, it would be something like.
And I've been out in this wild for 96.
Oh no, it's going back down! No! Well, we're actually very close to the pendant coming to an end. So you said it's either going to go down a lot or up a lot when it goes to the
It's
pendant.
gonna move. The slightest argument will kick it over the
I
edge.
say up. I say up.
Up is probably it. Probably it. All right, let's see.
Pump
How do we
and
do?
dump, baby. Pump and dump.
All right, where's this? I do think it would be really fun for us to see whether or not, like, what happens if we made like a recommendation. You know,
Nobody ever gets
everybody should
You
buy.
mean taking advantage of having 300,000 subscribers to pump something and then sell it as soon as it goes up, thereby making everybody else poor while making ourselves rich?
Well,
Let's do what everybody else does.
You could call it the Justin Sun.
I want to do it. I don't want to do what Adam Fairstein does for a change.
All right, so that has either broken out of our triangle or our triangle's wrong, but I don't think our triangle's wrong. I think it is a breakout. So breakout is good. All right. So it broke out.
I don't really want it.
Is this the future? No more shitty board repair.
Look at this. So I agree.
don't-
Look at this. Like look at all the other flags. Then it breaks out. This looks like a breakout of the flag. All right, let's buy the breakout. All right, let's go buy
Wait,
it.
why would you buy the breakout? Aren't you supposed to buy before the breakout?
You can't know that. The probability you have no way to tell. You can't just buy everything hoping it'll break out. No, you see a breakout.
But once it breaks out, how do you make money? Because isn't it going to go back down after?
Well, sometimes yes, and sometimes what is that thing called? What is Verge? XVG.
XVG.
XVG. All right, let's buy some XVG. All right, so looking on this 1 minute chart, there's a lot of sells. A lot more sells than buys. There are a lot of people don't want it to get past 1140, 1146. All right, so let's see. Let's put in an order for 1127. Fine, let's buy that.
What are these people with sell orders of 300,000 and buys of 296,000? Like that's.
Well, this is a lot like of the kind of like it's a collection of people. So like the
all of those.
The buy order. Look, see, here's my buy order. See my little.
But each of those trades is something like $50,000 to $90,000.
Oh, I know. We saw one where there was something like 4 or 5 Bitcoin worth. All right, I filled. All right, so 1127. All right, so this is good to see. Look at all of the
24/7 day trading streams, no more board repairs. Yeah, screw board repair.
Yeah, day trading streams, no more board repair.
Yeah, Audio Gear 2007, MacBook boards like 8 years. Screw that shit.
So is this the future?
I've had
No
enough.
more shitty board repair? Yeah, we're done.
That stuff is so boring. Like my work computer for streaming board repairs died yesterday, and I haven't even bought a new motherboard because if I do, then I have to use it to fix stuff.
All right, so now let's decide how we're going to react so that it doesn't just start dropping and then we have to freak out. All right, so let's it's making another flag. Flag above a flag. All right, so let's see.
Can I could team view into your office computer and buy a bunch of this to pump it up so that I could then sell it.
I did think about that when I was installing TeamViewer on this, and that's why I have to like I'm gonna have to log out and like enable 2-factor authentication.
What type of CPU do you have in this? Can I mine with it? XMR stuff?
Are you on my work computer? I told you. If that work computer is mining, then I will come to New York.
I was actually setting it up to mine.
Something will catch on fire.
I was setting it up so that you wouldn't notice it, so that it would be a background service, so that you wouldn't actually see a command prompt or a program.
Well,
I was complaining about Jason mining on the data recovery machine, so I noticed the blatant hypocrisy there and changed my ways.
Good for you.
I thought it's the least I can do. I'm typing to you, how dare someone mine on my work computer? Like, while I'm scripting my XMR stack to run as a background service on yours. That seemed kind of mean.
Yeah, I did search for that, by the way, when I got in.
No, I changed the file name of everything so that it was in like the Windows 32 folder. You would have never.
Oh my god.
It was genius.
Okay. All right. So let's make this like kind of a little uptrend. Oh, I heard a ding. Did somebody show up here at Discord?
Yeah, there's people there.
There is. How come we can't hear anybody?
Well, none of them are talking. They're actually behaving so that and not ruining the stream, which is really nice of them. But yeah, we have a group here of people.
In the voice channel, who's Chop Tech?
Yeah, but he's muted. You see how he's muted?
Well, what's the point of being in a voice channel muted?
They're just there to talk. It's like IRC. They're typing.
Here's what I would do if I was Chop Tech. I would start saying, you know, I've been a professional trader for 25 years, and
So I haven't actually done any trading, but I'm just poking in to see what you guys are up to. I think it's really neat that you're doing something different and kind of diversifying your YouTube channel.
I think it's really neat that
Thank you.
Discord works and that you can actually talk to people. I think that's kind of one of the things I've been wanting to do, so I think that's pretty cool. Way to go,
Yeah, I
Chop
think it
Tech.
is pretty neat. Yeah. But
So-
yeah, I'm pretty much just listening in, and I've been watching board repair videos for quite a while on both of your channels, actually.
But you far prefer
And
mine.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Love this guy. All right. So what have you fixed, Chop Tech?
So I actually work at a phone place called Phone Medic near Kansas City, Missouri.
Okay.
And I actually bought one of your soldering stations. I'm still kind of learning micro soldering. Actually, I go to a class tomorrow morning to continue. We've got a guy named Ryan who's kind of teaching us, and we're kind of going through a class on that. I'm pretty excited.
Ryan who? Somebody I know?
No, it's Ryan Romig. He's just a guy who works for the company and that's kind of practiced up, and he's basically like our expert.
All right. Well, good luck with
What
that.
company?
Sounds fun.
It's Phone Medic. So it's just a cell phone repair company.
Phone Medic. Lewis is looking
very
in
cool.
his repair shopper for Phone Medic. Well, that's great. That sounds super fun. I hope you learn a lot of great stuff. I hope that Ryan doesn't teach you any bad habits.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I trust him.
good. Well, that sounds great. Super fun.
He's a nice guy.
All right. How can I use it? Discord. Use your brain. I don't know. Chop Tech figured it out, which tells us
That's the
that it
that's
is
the
possible.
IQ test. We
It
got
is-
at least
that's
yeah,
the
we have
IQ
7
test.
people that figured it out so far.
Yeah. Figure it out. Let's see.
If we get too many people in there, it'll wind up being abused. So I think it's best that we just not make it easy.
Yeah. See, look at this.
I
418
still fail to see
total.
how. Sorry, I've still failed to see how it's kind of hard to get into the Discord.
Well, there you go. You're gonna do great at soldering tomorrow. Just you're already rocking it. Okay, so let's see. What did we buy this at? All right, 11.
Hito, where are you from?
Let's see. Who
Sorry,
we
were you
to?
talking to me?
Oh no, I was asking Hito 1995 where he was from. The guy in the
Oh,
in the
in the YouTube chat. Oh, okay.
the guy asking how do I use Discord.
Okay. Well, he can't answer you because All right. Let's check on our trades. So what did we buy Litecoin for? So Litecoin over here is hopped out of our range, but it's really not doing anything. Hanging out. And XVG is continuing to follow the trend line. So let's do this. Let's set an alert. Add alert when it crosses the trend line, and that will be our sell signal. When it crosses the trend line, then we will exit that trade. But it looks like since it kind of got up this far, I wish I still had my little colored lines still on it, but I don't. I wonder what it is that triggered it. Like if you kind of look back at this triangle thing, it is kind of like doing the same as all the other ones, where it gets to the end and then something dramatic happens. I mean, that's like pretty strongly different than anything that is within this whole triangle thing. So I'm going to say that with this one, the triangle lines, should have been more kind of see, it's so hard to put these on. The triangle should have been more like kind of closing right here. Like kind of defined like this. There. There. What do you think? There we go. Make that go down. All right, so there we go. So now we kind of identified a pattern and we have something to pay attention to. All right, what were the other ones we were supposed to look at? Emma, are you holding Ripple? Would you like a few indicator tips? Yes, absolutely. Google Discord, download, start, register. Click the link. Would you like a few indicator tips? Yeah, totally. Have at it. Tell us your favorite indicator. We could play around with some of the other ones. Add Bollinger Bands. All right. Bollinger Bands on here. Let's guess. Are you going to be in here? Bollinger Bands? Nope. Are you in here? Bollinger Bands? Nope. Where would they? Are they going to be in here? For Bollinger and CCI, do 14 period. Top, middle. Oh, okay. Indicators. All right. All right. So, of the ones that you mentioned, the MACD, I think, is the one that I've heard about the most. But let's see. Indicators. Let's see. Is it going to be one of those volume based? Isn't that what a Bollinger Band is? All right. So that's like too many things. So let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Here's CCI. Click indicators. You can search. Well, we found CCI. So we don't know what this is, but it looks like, since it's down here where volume is, and that it seems to kind of like track with volume, that it seems like it's going to be some, and it also seems like it kind of goes below and above a median. We're going to guess that this sort of median is like a volume average. This is totally guess, I'm making this up. And that that your signal for this indicator is when it peaks above this like brown part, and that kind of tells you something's going on. I'm not real sure how click CCI, click gear, change to 14 period. All right. Gear, change to 14 period. All right. Let's see. Source, close. Okay. All right. So then now we've got these little gray dots. Yes and no, but close. Oh, I say that to people all the time. Yes and no, but close. All right. So we could Google CCI and try to figure it out. Or let's ask Hido 1995. Can you Google? We'll let you into Discord if you can tell us what CCI is. All right. Is this in the chat? Why don't you go over to Discord and tell us what's what? I have two 1050 Ti cards. What could I mine with them? Well, I'm gonna see, can I stream and mine? No, not MinerGate. Let's see. Let's go to nice hash miner 2. Nice hash. Let's see if I can mine and stream. You guys can let me know if this. All right. Add Bollinger Bands. Oh, that's the same thing. All right. Okay, now click on the indicator button, not drop down arrow. All right, click on the indicator button, not the drop down arrow. You will see what happens. When you get all three, I recommend lined up. It'll make sense. All right, so we got to find those other ones. Look at that, mined up $30 this week at $5 a day. So I have a single 1070 GPU, and this is a desktop, and I just kind of let it sit there, and it just kind of makes free money. Alert on XVG, crossing trend line. Quick, everyone, head to the charts. All right, let's see. It's crossing the trend. Okay, so we got to see if that's really true.
What coin are you mining?
Me? It picks out whatever, it mines whatever is most, it decides that for me.
So where does it put the stuff?
It puts it in my private Louis Rossmann not accessible Bitcoin wallet.
Oh, does it do the conversion within the program and then send it to you?
Yeah. Or within the pool or whatever. All right, let's see. Are we actually crossing this trend line? And do we look at this trend line? Is the trend line wrong? If we're crossing a trend line, then we want to be aware. So let's see. Is this a profitable trade right now at 11.28? Let's go back and see. What did we buy this for? Oh, 11.27, so not really. It's kind of stayed the same. All right, let's go back. All right, so what's going on, Betsy? All right, let's pay attention. Let's go to the 1 minute time frame. Look at that. Let's see. Do we need to readjust just our line a little bit here? All right, let's see. Man, that is hard to make it be exactly where you want it to go. Yeah, but either way, I think it has definitely crossed our line. That is a sell signal. So we should sell, you know, right now, because it looks like it's now just going to go in a range. Sell, sell, sell. All right, so let's go over and sell. So we're going to take a loss because we're going to preserve our capital. So we're going to sell for a small loss. So let's sell for, let's see what it recommends. All right, let's sell. I don't think we can get that. I think that's going to be too wrong. All right, let's see. We're going to have to adjust that. We'll have to close that order. Sell this, cancel. All right, and we need to be more at, let's see, 118, 119. We can get it one at 119 still.
I mean, look how much that is.
All right, succeed. All right, did that fill? Let's see.
8.
All right, do we still have a 119? Here's 119. All right, so that should have sold. Okay. All right, so let's see. All right, let's look at our Litecoin. It's crossing the trend line again. What is this? Where are we? Which one just beeped at me? I think it's hard to tell if it's out of our flag or not. All right, so let's go back to Litecoin. Litecoin is, let's look at it kind of in the, Litecoin isn't really going anywhere, so that's another boring one. All right, the 1 minute is too volatile. Nice hash auto converts whatever it mines into Bitcoin. Yes, and it stores it on the nice hash server. I think it's great. I was surprised that you can actually mine $5 a day. Look at this, mining $5.85 while streaming and sitting here buying and selling stuff. All right. Let's see. Let's go back to Binance and see what is like. Let's try to find something that is more fun. Let's look in the Ethereum section and get out of favorites and just say what has the most volume. All right, it's still this APPC, which I have not traded all day, but everybody else has. All right, let's see. You'll get more if you switch to Claymore miners. And we'll see. We have to try that out. All right, we could. All right, let's look at our XVG and say, you know, what's happened to it now. So we sold at 11.19, and it is based on our signal that it crossed that trend line. It's really hard sometimes to sell when you have to take a small, we took like a super tiny couple dollar loss, but it's hard because you want to just say, well, it's going to turn around. It's just going down here and then it'll come back up. And that might be true, but you have
That's
to,
emotional trading.
I think that you have to just really know rule number one is just, if you're changing what you think, then you are no longer following your plan. If you're trying to justify something, one of the things I try to do is envision the uptrend and envision the downtrend. What would it look like if I was like short selling it and I wanted it to go down? What would it look like? And kind of visualize that. And then if it starts to look like that, that is what it is. You know, it's like the same kind of thing where people are like, I can't find the short. If there was a short, nothing's getting hot. You know, well, it's probably not a short then. Not everything is a short. We just want it to be a short. It doesn't make it a short. So maybe this will come back up. I don't know. But I think probability says that when it does that, that it's more likely to go down further than it is to turn around and go up, regardless of the fact that you already put money into it. So if you just kind of obey, like, hey, my signal and my plan is that if it's in an uptrend and if it crosses the trend line and completes a full 1 minute bar so that I'm sure of that signal, then I'm going to sell. All right, let's see. Emotional trading sucks. Bought Bitcoin Cash at 3,000, then it kept falling. Bought more at 2,500 and even more at 2,200. Finally was around even after selling at 2,700. Yeah, you know, like, I think your main goal is to just think of your capital as a fishing rod, a really expensive fishing rod, that just no one fish is really worth that. Right now, this might, you know, generate another buy signal later, but that's a completely independent trade. Even if this turns around and goes up, like, you know, till a gajillion dollars now, I'm still happy with the call to exit that trade then. That's my opinion. But I'd like to find something that is kind of like really has some movement and see. What was that? Is that on Discord? Is that like a...
Can you talk about RSI, says Guitar Matt.
Are you playing guitar music? Oh, okay. All right, can you talk about RSI? Relative Strength Index. Nope, I'd have to look that up. Maybe we could look that up together. What I'm going to say, remember, this is Jessa has been trading for 2 weeks. So anything that I say is largely stuff I read last night. I remember when I used to teach general biology that it was, you know, just stay one chapter ahead, one chapter ahead. It was like that the whole first year I taught Gen Bio. But I would say that that you can probably get really overwhelmed with all these indicators. There's so many. I mean, look at this thing, just like indicators. Well, I want to do, turn this guitar shit off. Stop.
It's funny.
You know, all of these different things, like, you know, like some of these are nuts. Let's do the Elliott impulse wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or should we go with the triple combo wave? Let's do it. Let's see what the triple combo wave looks like. We're going to go here, here, and then that. So that means that you should turn around, go back here, and then that's going to happen. And then we'll do that and buy right there at Z. You know, like, I don't know. Like, how much of this stuff is really useful? I don't know. I think you probably play around with one or two and then kind of pick your favorite ones. But I'm interested that our buddy High on Tech likes the volume indicators. Because what we're doing now doesn't take into account volume. Volume is really, volume is what makes things actually move. Otherwise, trading looks like this. You're sitting around. None of these have any volume. All right, so what does have volume? Let's go find the volume. Fucking Tron. All right, fine. All right, let's take a look at it.
Tron always has volume.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at good old Tron. And we'll go with the Ethereum. Tron versus Ethereum. All right, just because my other charter is going to be really clogged up. All right, so let's see. Who can pick out where Jessa sold? Anyone? Anyone? Is that jumping out at anybody?
800.
All right.
It went up to 1,000 today.
It went up. It was like really. The thing that was so painful about it. Here, let's share this sob story.
I don't even think the place that you sold shows up on those candles you had because it was.
How do I get that bigger? It looks like a giant vagina. It's like a big V for fuck you. All right, let's see. All right. Okay. I sold. So I had been trading this, like, you know, quite a bit. in the previous like day or two, and was up like significantly. Like I traded this one and then sold, this one and then sold, and then you know this one. Is that the one from last night? Yes. Yeah, that's the one from last night. Yeah. I missed that little one from today. Yeah, so it was up here, you know, kind of in this range. This was all day yesterday. And let's see if we can see what those numbers are. All right, so right around here, look at this. It was, well, I guess I don't recognize the numbers as well on the Ethereum scale, but let's see. Yeah, so it's bouncing around like 2369 with a low of 22,520. You know, it's bouncing around in here. And it had previously gone so far down. Stop that! Nobody can hear a goddamn thing. Mute guitar. Alright, mute guitar. Trade warning. Ethereum needs reballing. Okay, fine. But look at this. Like, this is the, as far as anyone could remember, all the way back, it had never gone below 1845. And if you kind of, like, go back, you know, it doesn't go below here. Look at that. It goes up, but it comes back. It does not go below there. And then, and this is a long time. A lot of ups, a lot of support. Goes up, doesn't even fall back that far. Goes up, and now it had retraced from a big pump and dump the night before. So it went up dramatically, really quickly over a short period of time. But then it kind of came back to the same range all day long. And the guy is going to give the big presentation. Now, the night before, 24 hours earlier, less than 24 hours, there had mysteriously been a tweet, a single tweet from Justin Sun, the Tron, you know, guru. Hey guys, what's up? You know, and the price of the coin goes from whatever it is, 22.7 something. Look at this. Woo! It shoots up. It was just green candle, green candle, green candle. These are 5-minute green candles. So this was massive on like the 1 minute scale. It was, you know, just insanity. It was just going up and up and up and up and up. So that was in here. That was in here. Just green candle city, huge fat leaps and chunks. Look at that. Just green, 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 green. And then it comes back. But then it goes up. And then it goes up more. And then it goes up and up. And then back. But then up and back. I mean, look at this huge run. That was huge. All the way up to hitting for the first time ever 31,230 or something, you know. And on the Bitcoin scale, it went all the way up to something like 2,000. Had been trading at 1,000, so it was like a 50% increase in this tiny window of time. And then shortly after that, it came back down. So that was a pump and dump based on a single tweet. So then we're all kind of hanging on, holding all day long through all of these. And then, I want to move this over. It's going to be hard to find.
I'm gonna actually try and build it more.
Are you just doing this for fun?
Yeah. All right, here we go. So it was like this until we get to last night. And last night, this right around here was the scheduled presentation by the same guy who had made one tweet and made the stock price double minutes later. So now he's gonna like give a little talk. So the whole world believes in this kid, and it's definitely going to run the stock price up. It'll probably fall again later. Mute that fucking shit. It'll probably it's like not funny. It'll probably drop back down. So this is what happens when the guy starts talking. Dun, 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 dun. I remember it quickly kind of fell a little bit right in here, and you guys can see that there's a lot of red. Betsy would say that's bad. That's a bad sign right there. It's bleeding to about here. And somebody said, you know, TRX is tanking. what? And so then, no, it's all right. Comes up a little bit. And then the guy says I didn't watch the presentation, but the guy said his second sentence, which must have been blah, 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 so by Tron. And then it just goes, and then it, whee! Then we're down here. Then it comes up, people start making excuses. And then, I don't know what he said. Lewis, did you listen to it? Lewis,
yes, I did, the entire thing.
So, walk us through what was he saying? Like,
the first 5 minutes he was saying, okay, so I'm trying to see your comments, but yeah, it doesn't seem like they're loading. I guess we overloaded Twitter and their centralized internet. Yeah, we overloaded that centralized internet. That's why we're going for that decentralized internet. So the first 10 minutes of the stream was just him repeating that.
All right, so this step is we can't figure out the internet, so don't really have.
So that's why we gotta decentralize it. This is proof. By the way, Jessa, your stream is dying because you're mining. But then they're all, yeah. So he keeps saying we need to decentralize the internet because see, Twitter's not working, so we can do better than that. Then he starts talking about Jack Ma having a school or some classes for people that want to do startups and how amazing that is. And then he starts talking about how Facebook could get into something like this, but they're too centralized, so it's gonna hurt if they get in because they're centralized. It was, I mean, if you could take a one incoherent minute of talking and stretch it out to an hour, that's what it was. I don't think he said a single thing in that hour that actually mattered.
Yeah, and then this happened. and then this coin, which everyone thought would stay the same, or remember, one tweet from this guy skyrocketed 24 hours earlier. So nobody saw that the guy was gonna, I don't know, sound like a character from The Lion King or something. I have no idea. So
it was terrible. It had nothing, and people were saying, "Oh, how dare you make fun of him for his language barrier?" It had nothing to do with language barriers. And then,
all right, I turned off the mining. So I wasn't even watching. I didn't set a stop loss, and in fact, I had buy orders from from way down low. Like, oh, if it were ever to dip this low, we'd totally buy. And I also failed to anticipate the fact that people would have stop losses. Like, if it drops here, then it should, then sell. How do we stop that nonsense on Discord?
You do realize that that's just Lewis screwing with you.
I know, but he thinks it's funny. But
that is fake news and bullshit.
I'm gonna mute him. How do I mute Lewis? I'm gonna mute Lewis. Turn off your welcome to Chi Chi's, or else. So it was awful, because it dropped to 25% of what it was. And then I sold it because I can't see any of this. All I know is people are texting me, oh man, this is really in the shit. And then somebody texted me that he quit, which I took literally. Like, he came to announce, because I see the price is falling, that he came to announce, fuck this, I'm going to Litecoin. Because somebody had said something like, he's going to go work for Litecoin. And I thought that he was announcing this sort of big shocker that he was leaving Tron and going somewhere else, and this coin was totally in the toilet.
The Tron and the Litecoin guy hate each other.
Yeah, the Charlie Lee guy.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. So that it was going to be something like that. That it was something completely unexpected, because I wasn't watching. I have no idea. So I start seeing some messages like that, and so I am thinking this is a really hard lesson in not setting a stop loss, which I didn't, because I didn't want it to kind of accidentally get triggered on some kind of little blip. And it just really didn't occur to me that, because the night before, so high up off of one tweet from this guy, that it would either stay the same or go up. It did not occur to me that he would then tank it. It should have. That's obvious, but didn't. Totally didn't. And so then I see it just falling down, and I know for sure that, we've been joking all week that Jeff bought it. Jeff also bought Tron at 270. and held it. You know, it's up to 2,000. He's still holding it from 270. And he's just like, you know, he doesn't do any, he doesn't look at any charts. He's not doing any of this. He just bought it. And you know, he'll like, you know, he looked at a chart once or twice, but he just bought it. And all this time I'm looking at all these charts and have bought and sold it multiple times. So I've bought it at like 1,200 or something like that, you know, in anticipation of this event. And I see it fall down. I see it go crack. And I knew where some of these support levels were. So I see it crack 1,100. And I know that's really bad because that's like deep in the blue. Then I see it go 900. And I know that Jeff bought it at 270. So I'm thinking it was 270 as, I mean, none of us were trading any of this stuff 2 weeks ago. So it was 270 within the last few days. And I just had this thought that this could crash. If this crashed to 270, I would be wiped out, totally wiped out. So I see it just raining down. So I hit sell. I hit sell 100%. At, are you ready? Dun, 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 the magic number, Jessa hit sell at exactly, I'll be able to find this. This will be really easy at my exact sell order. Right here.
750 to 800.
Yep. Yep, right there. The very, like, the wick on most of, you know, like, not even in the candle, in the wick at the bottom, like the loser, like, condom tip end. That's where I sold it.
That is sad.
It is so sad. And
that reminds me of a sad song.
Oh, sad songs.
That's not even the little, like, violin song that I was expecting. All right, here's what's worse. Are you ready? Look at what happened. Not 5 minutes later, not 10 minutes later, not even the next morning. These are 1 minute candles. So I sell. Look at the next 1 minute. Click it over. Look at that. 1 minute. 60 seconds later. 60 seconds after I sell at the butt bottom. 60 seconds later, it has come back up by half. That is painful. That's painful. Remember last night where you're like, Jessa, you seem sad. Yeah, so that's what that was.
I think that was a combination of me making fun of you for an order at the same time that you lost a bunch of money, but before I knew that you lost a bunch of money.
No. I didn't even see that until well after all this. And then I like am going to bed and then I see that and it's just like, fuck you, you know, you're an asshole, as you well know. All right, so then
I'm not an asshole.
Yeah, when that happened to me, and then I read that, it's total asshole. Like, you didn't say, let me delete that.
Timing. I didn't. How am I supposed to know that you planned on losing all your money?
That's when I read it. That's when I read it. And
you guys are funny.
And
you laughed at me when Agile went down to $2.
You told me you weren't holding it. You said you weren't holding it. You said you sold it all on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and then I bought back in.
But you didn't say that. I didn't know that. I would not have said that. Besides, I was.
You would because you're an evil.
I would not. You can't like mirror turn like that. That's not going to fly. Let's look and see what happened in the next minute. Look at this. It's like making a perfect V for a vagina for fuck you. You know, look at this. It just like goes. It goes way up to, look at this, at, you know, like 3 minutes, it just completely just bounces like a ball. Boing! Right back up. I lost $10,000 on that. $10,000, which was okay because I had spontaneously made $10,000 on this entire, this like last couple of weeks.
Are you at the right part of the chart?
Yeah. I think. Well,
you're in Ethereum. Never mind. Whoops. Yeah. That's why I didn't.
I mean, we can click over to Bitcoin so that you can see the numbers that everyone is familiar with.
That is.
Yeah, you should feel bad, and you should you know tone down your like water tower comments and shit like that. All right.
I bet if you said Jeff bought a 200.
270, but he bought like, you know, $100 worth.
He's got like a water tower, you know, at least a large size bucket.
He probably has $125 now from his $100. He doesn't like do it like I do, you know, like All right, why am I searching? I'm searching for TRX. Oh, it was so funny. Then I posted in one of those crypto groups, like, you know, where they had all the, like, you know, the Justin Timberlake, you know, pictures of that guy, you know, with his little headshot with his like hand on his chin. So I posted in there, I officially hate this guy. Oh, care to tell me why? No. No, I don't. I don't care to ever talk about that again, ever. Painful, painful lesson. Like I said, you know, trading totally sucks. Yeah, here it is. I mean, just like scroll around here and like what looks like a giant vagina. That's where it's, yeah, right there. Right there. Yeah.
Do you keep comparing it to a vagina? Like, come on.
Look at
Because
it.
their kids are in the room. That's appropriate for children.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a sex ed class at the same time.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, we could go ask Betsy Amazing, like, where would be the absolute worst place to sell? Hey, Betsy, can you answer a question?
What?
Can you help me understand on this chart, where would be the worst place to sell? If you were going to sell it, where do you want to sell it? Up high or down low?
Up high.
That's right. So where would be the worst place to sell it? You tell me.
Maybe around there.
Yeah.
Betsy, what do you think that looks like? What is the shape of that line on the screen?
Yeah, what's this shape? What does it look like? What do you think, Maze?
I guess like those 2 blocks.
Yeah, that's where I sold it. That's why I was sad. Ouch. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Does it look like a nose? Does it look like an elbow? Does it look like a...
does this shape look like anything?
Probably an upside down mountain.
It looks like an upside down mountain. Yes, it
That's
does.
better.
It looks like a V.
Yeah, I think she should be on the stream.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like an upside down mountain. Very good. Very good. Do you think you're going to trade cryptocurrency one day or no?
I don't know.
What makes you think
She's
you
already
will?
trading it.
Probably learning about it.
Yeah. If I gave you a little bit of money and taught you how to trade, do you think you could do it?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. I think you could probably beat Mr. Lewis. Do you want to try?
No.
Oh, come on. I think that would be pretty fun. Mr. Lewis versus Maisie and Betsy? We have like a contest.
Brilliant minds at work.
I think this is a good idea.
Don't scare them. Don't discourage them. They were all happy and excited to get trading until you made it them versus some weird old man on the internet.
Weird old man on the internet.
I mean, I am old.
They know
by contrast.
They know who Mr. Lewis is. They probably already think he's a...
Yeah, because you say all sorts of terrible things about me.
I do not. Hey, do you guys like Mr.
You do
Lewis?
too.
Do you guys like Mr. Lewis, or is he,
We don't know.
Listen to that silence.
Maisie just said, I do. Yeah, see?
We all like Mr. Lewis.
Well, they do because they haven't been fed the iPad rehab propaganda.
Yes, they have.
He was the guy who has like this swollen knee.
Oh, look at that. She just said, I think he's the guy who had, like, the sore knee. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look at that. Of all the things about you, what Maisie knows is that you're the guy with the sore knee.
Oh, the sore knee?
A sore leg, whatever. Knee
Ah,
or
the
leg.
joint, yeah. So according to my lines, I should have sold Verge at 11:30, and I didn't, and now it's 11:08.
Wait, you didn't sell?
Done.
Why didn't you sell?
Nope, I'm holding out for my 12.50.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Is Lewis getting greedy?
Lewis didn't sell
Incredibly
when it
greedy.
crossed the line. Did you make a line? Did you even make a line?
I'm hodling.
The sad thing, and this is why, like, this really is, like, the worst. Like, here's what's going to happen with this crypto stuff. Anyone can trade cryptocurrency profitably because you can do whatever the hell you want, and it'll just go up. It might take a day or a week, but even Tron, the people can pour something like $12 billion was the market cap on that, which was, 30 days earlier it was like, nothing. In like Burger King as a market cap of 11 billion. Tron is 12 billion. And the founder, like the Colonel from KFC, you know, like the Tron guy can get up there and go, rah, rah, and it can go down, and it comes right back up. It's just like all of crypto world is a giant basketball. It's like a moon bounce or bounce house. It's like a jumping pillow. Whatever happens, it just jumps right back up. You know, like the worst thing could happen. You know, like it turns out that cryptocurrency was used to exclusively, this entire coin was just used for nothing but raping girls and these terrible crime-ridden.
Why does that have to be what you say? Of all the things to say.
Yes, I am old. I can't think quick anymore. I mean, I couldn't even think of the word.
No, you thought very quickly, and that was the first thing you thought of. Why?
I was still recovering from how long it took me to think of the word moon bounce, which isn't even the right word. It's bounce house.
Moon bounce.
You can think of better examples than that. Come on.
Yeah, really. I mean, there's kids in the room. What the?
Fine. Making cat food out of dead pigs. Because that's what it was used for.
They already do that, though.
All right, fine. What's the worst thing
You probably eat it.
All right, what's the worst thing that you could find out tomorrow that all of your favorite coin, AAPC or whatever that is, was used to fund what? What's the worst thing? TikTok.
Buying quicks for iPad rehab.
Lame. Yeah, see, it's hard to think of something like that. All right. So, but even still, the point, it would just bounce right back. Like this Verge, it'll come back. You just kind of like walk away from it a little bit. So I think we're going to be like raising a nation of savage traders that have no idea what they're doing, but they're like, oh, I'm great at this, man. Look, I made $25,000. I lost it a couple of times, but I made so much money. And then they'll like go over to try to trade stocks and get their ass beat, lose it all, and kill themselves. That's what I'm afraid of.
So are you saying like this is the beginner's stock market?
Yes, that's absolutely the beginner's stock market. It's totally the beginner's stock market.
This is still even the beginning, even though there's been a bunch of gains over the past 2 months. I mean, there's like all the people that are going to come in, they're going to think that they're amazing at this, even if they suck. Which is, any mistake that you make, I believe, can be erased if you wait a week or two.
Yeah, or 1 minute.
Yeah.
1 minute.
Or 1 minute in the case of Jessa yesterday.
Yeah, 1 minute. Yeah, it's fine. Didn't even happen. Just like crazy. But I want to use this as a playground to actually learn good habits, because I do think that's really important. Like not clicking and buying things that you see going up while you're standing in line at the grocery store. You know?
I bought AppC while I was sitting in bed without looking at the chart, and it's my best investment, which says a lot for my investing.
Well, you've only been doing it for like 12 hours, you know. But it is funny how it's like that time, like, you know, I've been doing nothing but cryptocurrencies. Like you've said this, like, I don't even know you anymore. You talk about nothing but this shit. I had never logged on to Binance as of 2 weeks ago. You know. Jessa
has completely quit the field of cell phone data recovery and repair in favor of trading.
That's not true. I'm getting ready to teach.
It's happening. Let's bring Sunday on stream. What does she have to say?
She has to say a lot of things like, hello. Like, I don't know, I'm excited. Mark is coming tomorrow. He's going to take care of my large pissy list. And
oh, you're teaching this week, right?
Yeah. I don't know how. So I'm going to have to do like a little kind of strategy. Here's your downline for your Verge. Here, I'll set an alert to know when you're going to stop losing money.
Are you teaching board repair this week?
Yeah. 2 weeks.
So how are you going to edit the class to just be this?
Nope, I'm going to do an experiment where I'm going to, like, on Sunday night, I'm going to cash out of all my trades. And I'm going to, like, invest in, like, the top maybe 10 or 20 coins, like, evenly. And then I'm going to see if I did better doing that in 2 weeks. It's an experiment. I'm interested. You know, did I do better doing that than all of this obsessive chart watching and shit? All right, so look, I set you little trend lines so that you'll know when you'll stop losing money on Verge. Because you're going to keep losing money until it breaks that line.
I'm going to be at 1250, just you watch.
Well, what makes you pick 1250? So is that your like target to? Here, we'll make it like more obvious how badly you're losing here. There you go. I mean, it's no Tron. Oh, you got a green one. There you go. Yay! Oh, yay! Yay! Oh.
What really is a killer with this is that it's not a market that closes at 4 p.m. So, I mean...
Or ever. I know. Like...
It's really easy to go World of Warcraft on this and just stare at it.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
I bought AppC at 4 a.m. I mean, that's...
You did?
Yeah.
That's probably why you woke up at 2 p.m., huh? All right. Oh, I can't see stuff in the chat.
That's my normal time for Saturday.
Mm-hmm. All right. I provided a screenshot on Discord of those 3 indicators that I was telling you about. Great. So let's click over. All right. Let's see. Loving how many users clearly just joined Discord. Great. Jessa getting cyber bullied by 2 guys on the internet. Oh, what are you talking about? Okay, here we go. All right, we're gonna learn something. All right, school us, High on Tech. High on Tech, clearly a trading view expert already. LRC BTC. What's LRC? All right, so this is our CCI 14 that has that kind of weird looking middle part, and then it spikes up apparently on volume, and this is kind of interesting. I wouldn't, like, just looking at the volume, you can't really tell down here that volume is like less than the rest of the time, but it's kind of gone below that line. That's kind of interesting. And then we have the MACD, which I forgot what that is. Let's guess. 1226 close. I don't know. What can we guess MACD stands for? We'll have to look that up. All right, we'll believe in the internet can teach you anything. MACD indicator. Moving average. Convergence, divergence. All right, I like that. So moving average. Moving average makes a lot of sense. So moving average, we can see is this little red line that goes in there that kind of just is one of these other indicators where price likes to, if it crosses the moving average, and that kind of like tells you something. If we look back at Binance charts, you can see these yellow, red, and purple lines are the moving averages. And you can see that, you know, like here where a stock is crossed that purple line, then it kind of went up. All right, so moving average is another indicator. And so moving average, convergence, divergence. So I guess you would be looking for a divergence away in either direction, short selling down, long position up. You would be looking for a divergent from the average. So that looks like what this little, like, you know, bar charty looking thing is here.
Someone has a question in Discord about ESD.
Like, ESD?
Can't ESD S your D?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, of course. And Lewis's D. All right, and then the Bollinger Bands look like these green blobbies on here. I never really knew what those are.
Verge, come back to me.
You should have sold, bro. Bollinger Bands.
I'm waiting for my 1250.
Okay. All right, let's see what these things are. Ah, XVG is crossing a trend line. Hey, it's going to come back up. Yay, Lewis. It's great news. It's getting ready to get out of your downtrend.
It's going to go up to my 1250.
Here you go. Look at that. You're going to cross that line. See, I love that. Like, calls your attention back to, you know, like, hey, I thought this was important a few minutes ago, and what's up? I like that little beep. What?
Are y'all finished with the videos?
Almost. Notice how the upper and lower bands act as strong areas of support and resistance. All right, so these Bollinger Bands, 2 standard deviations away from a simple moving average. All right, makes sense. So it looks like the Bollinger Bands are this moving average, the red line in the middle, and the Bollinger Bands kind of follow that moving average. And, you know, it makes sense that if something moves away from the moving average, it's going to kind of be drawn back, and it would have to take something really strong, a big push, a lot of interest, you know, for some reason, bunch of people want to buy something that are going to push a stock in one direction or the other, to kind of cross that line. But I'm still not sure. Let's see, how could we use any of this to predict anything? Like, for example, where we see this, how could we tell this bar here, how do we know it's different than this similar start of an uptrend? So this uptrend kind of went from, you know, whatever number this is up to here and then fell down. But this one went up quite a bit, and this one went up like a whole lot. Is there any way to tell that in advance? I don't know. This is a 30-minute time scale. Let's see. I mean, it all seems to be kind of like happening with the action. Like if I'm in an uptrend, then, you know, or if I see high volume, then I don't know. You'll have to tell us how we can use this to like change anything. It's really hot in here. Turn off this fire. I don't know about the streaming while trading idea. All right, let's click back so we can see some chat. Ah! I lost it.
Really can't figure out this.
Ah, stop it. All right, I want to see this chat. All right, let's see. You can see your candles are breaking the Bollinger Bands. When they break through the bottom, buy zone. When they start breaking the top, looking at selling. As long as your blue continues to spike upward, it's not time to sell yet. If the blue starts diving, it looks like it's about to cross red again down on your moving average convergence divergence, you consider selling. All right, let's look back at that. All right, let's see. The CCI you see is starting to enter the above market value line. Not a good time to be buying, but waiting to sell. All right, let's see. Pete says, Lewis, I want you to do this. I want you to go with a dartboard thing. Pete, whoever Pete is, says, just throw $100 on Faux and Dix. Those are going to go up 40,000%. Why don't you do that? See if there's really coins with that name, and then put $100 on it, and then report back and see what happens. All right. So, all right, the MACD, long as the blue line is above and rising above red, it's going to keep going up. All right, let's see if that's true. All right, let's go back to... All right, let's see if we can do a little trade here on Verge. That's what we were looking into. All right, where is... not Verge. God damn, Tron. All right, here's Tron. Tron looks like it's in the toilet as usual. Not surprised. Yeah, look at that.
Verge, come back to me.
Oh no. All right, okay, let's do this on Lewis's Verge. All right.
Suka Ballet.
I want to put back our little like colored-y things so that. Oh, that's really. Where did you buy it at?
I think 1040.
Okay. On what basis are you not getting out of it way up here? Seriously, like way up there. Like, why not?
I'm waiting for my 1250.
But that doesn't make any sense. You can see this like obvious long extend, uptrend, and then it stops being an uptrend, which means if it's not going up, it's going to go down. Why did you not sell here at 1126?
I believe in 1250.
The hell kind of thing is that? The sad thing is that if you just kind of say, I'm just not going to look at this for a few days. And if you, like Tuesday night, you might be like, hey, Jessa, guess what? I just sold at 1250. Just guess what, Phil? Verge. I wouldn't be surprised. Like, I'd be like, all right, I believe you. All right, let's add some of these other things. All right, let's find our MACD. All right, so you know that we're the noobs compared to High on Tech because he has a black background. The professional trader's black background. Whereas we have the newbie white. Volume-based indicators. All right, where's our other ones? All right, so we don't know what that is. We don't know what that is. We don't know what that is. And we already have that one. All right, so we need to search. Idea, create an alert indicator. Let's see, where is the search? No, that's zoom in. It looks like a search. I need to search for the search. Oh,
Search
yeah.
Subson?
Look at that. Profesh. Look at that. I don't know about that. I can't see anything in the black. All right, search where? Give me a hint. Up? Not there. Here? No. Oh. Nope.
Do you ever have to give your cat a bath?
No, my cat doesn't shit on himself. So no. They all shit in the
I have a cat that doesn't bathe himself properly, and
ooh, bar replay. That sounds pretty cool. Let's see.
Oh god. Oh gosh.
Ooh, here we go. Notes, trading panel, strategy tester, pine editor, text notes. Ooh, maybe some more choices down here. Trash can, objects tree, magnet mode, zoom in, ruler, icon. What's that? Ooh, did somebody send me a message? Oh, let's see. Where's the goddamn search? How is it this hard to find search? What kind of software doesn't like let you search anything? What in the hell? All right, here's how we're gonna search. We're gonna search show MACD in trade view. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna learn this. Just tell me how to show it. God damn it. I don't
Can you search it by doing Control F?
I can. I don't think that's gonna find it. I would look like an idiot if it did. But let's find out. Is Jessa an idiot? MACD. Nope.
Verge.
Oh, I thought this was Verge. I was happy for you.
Come back to me. Bring me my 1250.
Alright, it's gonna be like in one of these or something. Oh, Underdog. Can you hear Underdog snoring? It's ridiculous.
No, I just hear kids.
Really? Alright. How to show...
Where do you think Qtum is, actually? Because that was at 4,400 or so at the beginning. So I am curious where it was now.
Oh, it's at 41.90. That's what I predict. Why don't you
Womp
find out?
womp.
Underdog,
Yeah.
God bless America. This doesn't help me figure out how to do it.
Poor Qtum.
I have to watch a YouTube video on how to trade the MACD indicator. I would first like to know how to pronounce it, then I could work on things like that. Okay, here we go.
Oh yeah, the babies can keep going down the.
Oh yeah, trading view. New pop-up opens on the left.
Look at me go.
All right, now in here, get out of there. Let's find this. Girls, what are you playing?
This game.
How do you do it? Built-ins. Okay, indicators. What?
The original way.
Your original way? All right, let's look at this. This is clearly in an uptrend. It's our buddy. Shut up, Underdog. It's our buddy TRX. That looks like it's gonna. We should say.
What does Underdog think of TRX?
Underdog, what do you think of TRX? You don't hear that? It's so loud.
Put the microphone to him.
Okay. You're gonna regret. You're gonna really regret that. But I'll do it.
This baby went off. No, there's more things as a part.
Oh, it's like all foamed up.
And this is the kids' part. This is too baby for me. And this is how they get off the seat. And they just go back.
Listening in on the girls is sometimes hysterical.
Mom!
What? It's true. You guys are hilarious. Like with your whole jail. Why don't you come talk about your
No.
We can't talk about your jail and people having to peel potatoes to eat raw and stuff like that. What?
Would Betsy invest in Core Civic?
Betsy doesn't have any money, so no.
I bet she would invest in
That's not true.
CXW.
Betsy made $5.
Action Score.
Oh shit. This is just...
Would you buy TRX again?
$1
Yeah,
for
totally.
my birthday.
Oh yeah. Do you know where it is, or did you lose it?
Yeah, I know where it is.
Ion Tech just says to click the indicator button.
Yeah, that's what the thing I just read said. Click the indicator button. But first, we want to untangle this so we can hear underdogs. It's gonna be worth it.
Is that underdog or is that you moving the microphone?
That's me moving. Like this is all super tangled up, and I don't want to unplug it. All right, let's see.
Why do you use those to make, you'll see.
All right, indicator.
And
Volume-based oscillator. That's what it's going to be under.
right.
Yeah, there we
What
go.
are you making?
All right, so we're going to the stochastic.
Monkey bars. That
Relative
is
strength,
trying to make.
CCI.
You can make
Now, the only thing we don't know is the MACD indicator.
and it makes a wonderful thing. I think you should.
Let's see. TRX won't hit $1. My friend said TRX is going to hit $1 soon. Well, did your friend lose $10,000
Okay.
on it last night?
There's a lot of people who have babies. You're free to go.
All right, what's in here? Oh,
Baby!
what's that? That looks cool. Look at that.
Oh, there you are.
Is that telling me like how much like
You know what I'm trying to make?
is the difference? That's pretty cool. I like that. What one was that?
It's gonna be so hard to make.
Why won't TRX hit $1? Well, it'll eventually hit $1 because they won't. All right. I think we should we should move this over. Look at that. It like makes it all zigzag.
No, keep it like that.
Pose seems pretty legit. Well, it was pretty boring. We did look at it earlier. I like the coin by itself though. All right, so like this, you know, this is a clear uptrend, and that would be something worth looking at. So what we want to do is like just move this over so that we can kind of get an eye for where does that go, and I think it goes there. All right, so then here you could say, since it's already gone up here, it's gonna go up there. So you could say, you know, I'll buy it here, expecting it to, you know, at least go up there. All right, that's not unreasonable. So let's go back to this asshole.
But what does it connect to?
Was that one even on this one? Let's see how similar that is.
Not.
No, not
There
that.
needs to be a top. Like these connect to air.
All right, so
Weird.
here.
You know
Let's
why
just
I
buy some.
had
There we go. Now we bought some more TRX.
Hey. Use this.
If
Make
it felt,
stop.
which
I
I don't
don't
think
care.
it
I don't care.
did. 15,811. All right, 15,811.
Nice
But
house.
we're on the
It's
Ethereum
not a
chart.
house.
Let's go look at that.
Looks like one.
Let's go back to the Ethereum chart. It has less bad mojo. It's TRX. Ethereum. All right, let's see if we can beat
How about this
Lewis's
playground is not swing set?
Lewis's Verge.
Busy.
All right, that's the
And
3-minute
at
scale.
a
So let's draw
lot
a
of
line.
playgrounds like our recess playground at school. There's this little tower we go in and do some weird stuff. I know, I was looking to make one.
Alright, then we'll sell it when it crosses
But
that line. How
this
about
could
that?
start it.
I don't hear underdog.
Go upstairs.
No, that's impossible. Let me move this back. Listen. Hey girls, be quiet for a minute. Be silent.
The microphone is gating it out. There's no underdog.
Maybe not.
He woke up when it got quiet. You don't hear that? God bless it. Listen.
Mom, I heard it for so long.
Girls, do you hear underdogs?
How old is underdog again?
10. I love what you've done with your blocks. That's really cool over there. What is it? Is it a school? Is it a zoo?
This?
Yeah.
No, that's a house.
Oh, a house for animals?
Instead of rooms.
Yeah. I see.
We're making a swing set right now.
You're making a swing set?
I mean not. I mean like a playground. Yeah, a playground.
All right. We're gonna try to add our.
I think the playground just looks ugly now.
Are these guys?
Because look at
We don't know what
this.
that is. We don't know what that is. That was one of them. All right. So what does this mean? Is it good to be in this little range
That
here,
looks like a climbing set.
or
Oh, yeah,
what?
actually, it is
All right.
climbing
Let's
set.
add our other.
Well, it looks like a they climb up here, then they go in there. Well,
Was it these?
and then they climb back down to get off. There.
Was it? Let's go with this.
So, yeah. Let's make something not.
Oh, MACD. It's gonna be on this.
Let's
Those
make
are gonna
something
be
not
all
looks like that.
moving averages.
The elephant.
That's kind of cool.
This elephant is going out of town, and she's waiting at the bus stop. Well, she's just going to ride for a ride because this guy's already on the bus
Alright.
driving to here.
How's your
So
verge?
he's waiting for the bus to come
Look at that. I'm gonna make it all back on my Tron. I'm gonna stop hitting him.
Supposed
It's
to
gonna
be
be great.
attached. Wait. Well, why can't they just do
Let's
so
see.
fun?
Indicators. I want to know what Bill Williams' 3 lines are.
Guys, it's not a bus
What does that mean?
stop.
Moving average 5, 8, and 13.
How about you just don't use it? I like it.
That doesn't seem that helpful.
There's not a bus stop.
All right.
Oh, come on.
Are there more indicators that we can pick?
You can't rip things out of people's hands. I'm going to say, can I have that frog? No, you cannot.
I don't know where you can find
Hey,
these
Mom.
little dudes. What?
Should there be a bus station or not?
Oh, definitely a bus station. Colossus coin. Alright, let's see. Not the drop down. Right smack dab on the word. Alright, click. Indicators. Yay! Oh, shit. Alright. Bollinger Bands. Click. Alright.
Mom,
Yeah.
you really got to start doing the video.
I'm gonna click no sure thing.
Alright, then this.
We'll go with standard MACD, and we already should have CCI.
Yeah, amazing. It's supposed
All right.
to be an animal.
Now we have these on here. Great. So blue line, what was it?
Do
Let's
that.
scroll back.
No, it's actually not. Yeah, it is. I was.
All right, let's see.
way
All right, the
too
MACD. Stay long as the blue line is above and rising above red, it's going to keep going up. Okay, let's see if that's true. All right, Lewis, time to learn something.
Well, there should be a bus stop. I don't
That
see
is
so
when you're
at
sitting,
all.
waiting to sell, not buying. Okay, great. So we're sitting, waiting to sell, and we want to see my indicator that I've been using is when it crosses the trend line, then sell. And high on text indicator is the good old moving average convergence divergence, the MACD
Okay.
or the MACD. And when that blue
I
line
know you are.
is above the red, then it's going to
So I
keep
can touch
going up, he says. All right. The CCI,
I just touched
which
it. I
we
know you
had the-
are. I'm not gonna like
Uh-oh.
rip it out of
Alert.
your hands.
oh no, it sank down, but I don't think it's going to cross that line. Let's look at the 1 minute though. All right, so it touched our line here, but it didn't cross it. So we lost our CCI, but let's see. Your CCI, you see, is starting to enter the above market value. Not a good time to be buying. All right, so CCI,
Well, better clean up this.
above market value. So
No,
let's see.
don't.
That was in the.
I'm not playing with it.
That was in this drop
I
down line.
am.
CCI. All right, let's get rid of these.
Okay.
All right. So it sounds like CCI, you want it to stay within this. It sounds like it's some kind of like oversold versus, underbought. Oh, looks like we're crossing our thing. Let's look back at our other indicators. I don't know where they are anymore. No, did we lose them? Boo.
Looks like that baby's
All right, so
talking now.
according to the CCI, we're okay. Let's look at our other indicators, though. Indicators.
Okay.
Let's look at
This is
our
a table to
Bollinger Bands.
This is a table to make
So
food.
the Bollinger Bands, you see your candles are breaking the Bollinger Band. When they break through the bottom, buy zone. When they start breaking at the top, look at selling. So we want the candles to stay inside these Bollinger
You
Bands.
said you weren't playing.
Over here, when they break through the bottom, then
So
look
why
at
are you
buying.
playing?
Like these
I'm
two
not.
definitely broke through the bottom of
You
the
said,
Bollinger Bands, and we did buy
I
here.
didn't
All right,
see
so that's
that. Yes, you
pretty
did. I
reasonable.
said,
Okay.
nice
All right, and then we want to look at our other indicator. We want to look at.
Mom,
Yes.
this is being really rude.
All right. We're gonna
Where are your Bollinger Bands?
look at my Bollinger Bands. They're green. All right. See, my Bollinger Bands are green. All right. We don't know what that one is. All right. So this, he says that as long as blue is above red, then it's going to keep going up. But according to what I have been doing, which is if it crosses
I'm going
if it crosses the trend line, then you sell. But it has to complete a candle on the other side of it.
What's your blue and red line down there?
Down here, it's some kind of moving average, and then this whole little like bar chart thing is kind of like how far above the average are we, which eventually, as long as if it's high, then the average will come up high, and eventually those will meet. So that's kind of what seems like it's going on, right now. That it's going to keep going up as long as the blue line is above the red line there. And when they cross, like over here, blue line crosses red, then it's likely to go down. All right, so for this one, I want to make sure that our line is in the right spot before we declare that it has crossed. And I think it clearly has. All right, so that's crossing line, sell. All right, so I'm going to take that as my sell signal and get the hell out of this trade. All right. So
How much did you put in?
I don't know. I have no idea. So we are going to
Maybe
sell
I brought
at market. God damn it.
I thought you brought this one.
Sell.
I brought that
All right, yeah, sell 15,829. That sounds good. Let's see, 15,829 sounds great. 15,820. Sell. Cannot be zero. Oh, it filled. All right, so it filled it at a loss. Fantastic. Of course it did. Wow. It filled at a loss despite all of that. Wow, wow, wow. Of course course it did, because that's the way it goes with this goddamn stuff. Can you believe that? Like, that was a successful trade, but I cannot be zero.
Cannot be zero with ZERRO.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's 15,847. Great, fantastic. You know that. So this was our sell signal. But I feel like I bought it way down here, you know, but what do I know? I think that you have to learn how to use this really well. And I think probably it would be really helpful when TradingView hooks up so that you could just do like, you know, sell. And then like if you connect it so you could just click that button and it would buy or sell. Like when you see it cross the line, like that delay of it taking that long to like click over to Binance and figure that out. Now this is going to be really hard to find the little thing that's supposed to make this thing close down. All right, let's try to.
Time for me to bake another potato. I'm
gonna be done here because I need to pay attention to the girls here. But look, and so there are other indicators. This blue line dipped under there, so you know, but it crossed our trend line. That's a signal to sell. But it sucks now because it's 15,980. We bought it at 15,811, 978, and sold it at 15,801. I don't really understand. I'd have to rewind it and see. In general, I don't like to hit market sell, but I think I tried a limit order and it doesn't fill, and that's really hard to kind of. That's just a tough.
Go Verge.
All right, let's check on your Verge.
Go Verge.
You got Verge in a uptrend. See, now why don't you be smart now and draw a line and then, you know, and then let it go. Look at your like indicators we learned about and that kind of stuff.
Which indicators?
All of these. I'm getting really tired. I'm getting a headache from underdog snoring. What isn't that?
CCI and MACD.
CCI, thank you.
CCI, Bollinger Bands, and the MACD. And this won't draw a line anymore.
There's so many CCI.
CCI was under the next to indicators, the drop down, and it was under volume based, and then you close all of them except for CCI. That's how you get to CCI. And you want CCI to stay in the tan area. Otherwise, it's overbought or oversold. All right, so this is no longer going up, which is true, and not interesting anymore. All right, Verge.
There's so many MACDs. There's like 20 MACDs. I'll just click the first one that shows up. Screw it.
Oh, I see. I think I have to click in here. Alright, and then I gotta make a line.
The stream is like a minute off.
Is it? Alright, let's look at our quantum. Oh, look at that. We could have made a killing on quantum. Look at that. It was nothing but up and down and up and down.
I forget what the point of CCI was. I know that MACD is when the two touch, that means you're not going up anymore. I was starting to bake my potato when we got to the...
I think the CCI is, I'm guessing that it is oversold up high and overbought down low. It's a volume.
It's kind of like the opposite of RSI.
So you want it to stick in the tan line. This is a total guess. Kind of just making that up. Right. So I think you should draw your little trend line right there. I don't know why it doesn't let me do that anymore. It doesn't like me. And I need to see what else were we in.
So what's that little tan thing for CCI?
I think that's stay in that area and you're fine.
So above it means it's gonna go up and below it means it's gonna go down?
All right, I want to look at XMR, which is what I would have wanted to trade here.
That's what I was mining on your office computer.
You are not allowed to even think about that. I will be really.
That's not what TeamViewer says.
I will uninstall all of that shit and do something else really mean. I'll have to think about what.
So this is really our new
Okay.
house.
Go Verge.
What else did
1250. Give me my
I
1250.
look at?
A lot.
I don't know.
What's Verge at now?
1120.
Which is great. So it's profitable, isn't it? What did you buy it at? I forgot.
How'd you know?
1040.
Great. I don't know why I can't
That's-
like do that anymore.
That's not even 10%. That's a joke.
But you could have done that same 10% so many other times, like today.
Where did you put the bus station?
I'm waiting. Hey, I'm holding out for my 1250.
I'll just find the bus station myself. There it is.
Why can't I draw these things anymore? This is getting
Hmm.
All the way down.
Wait, did we
I
invite?
forgot what we needed to when
Wait.
it's raining.
Did we buy?
Hey Betsy, same in my room.
Be-
It's raining.
Bitcoin? Yeah, 15,811 sold at 801. Great.
Oh yeah, and you. Yay!
Yeah, and we had a giant lizard there. Oh yeah, we bought Litecoin.
And
Litecoin.
you.
I was trading fantastic before I started streaming, where you can actually pay attention. This might not be a good idea. All right, let's check on Litecoin. That was the other thing we bought.
Jeez, you guys have a lot.
Man, I'm so tired I can't even remember. All right, it was Litecoin to Bitcoin. All right, we'll get rid of this. We're out of that trade. Litecoin to Bitcoin. Litecoin to Bitcoin was my pick, but I'm not sure that was the right one. Litecoin to Bitcoin at Binance. There we go, Binance. All right, there it is. And let's drill back out of this.
Maybe someone could fit under.
All right, let's
Brown.
delete
I
all
know.
of that. And all
This
of
is a
that.
place where you can walk around and have
All right, so
some
this
fun
one,
times.
if we can remember, it was
This
just
one's
kind of
better.
like trading in a range, for the most part, from where we kind of said, yeah, in a downtrend. It broke out of the downtrend here. So we drew this sort of downtrend line, and then when it broke out of the downtrend, then we decided to buy it. So let's see what happened with that. All right, and it's according to our CCI, it's overbought. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to trade history. We bought the Litecoin at 16,599. Let's see, what is it now? 16,599.
Betsy, I take this
Litecoin
and
to Bitcoin.
so he can actually ride. Look at the ride and visit the other town.
It's 16,8.
Oh,
810 or something like that. All right.
Yeah. I love it.
Now this is what I really struggle with. I want to be done. I want to go to bed. This isn't fun anymore. And you know, as far as I can tell, as I look at this, let's go back to like a 5-minute chart. You know, as I look at this, I don't. It seems like it's in a range, and I don't really see, you know, any. Since I'm already kind of like in this trade, I don't really see any reason why it wouldn't kind of, you know, continue up and maybe challenge this yellow line. If I just say I'm going to bed, good night, it'll probably go back down before morning, so I don't really know what to do. I'm going to go with I'm a day trader, so I should sell. Get the hell out of this. All right, so let's see if we can kind of pick a better order. So anything below 168.50 would sell with a little bit of planning. So 168.49 would sell pretty immediately. So let's sell that. Succeed. All right. So let's see if that did. Yep. So I think that's pretty cool. That, you know, even if the current price is 16,811, you know, you can kind of put in your, you can look at this and say like 1638 to 168.51, anything in that range would immediately sell, rather than just hitting market, which would sell you at that.
Okay.
All right, so we
It's very nice and fluffy.
made some whatever the difference is between 16,599 and 849 in Bitcoin when converted to US dollars on that little trade. All right, so that I think it's going to be our first and maybe only crypto trading stream, because I'm tired and ready to go to bed. So what I liked about this was just kind of seeing